Now, LakeTV brings you state quarterfinal playoffs between the Osage Indians and the Monett Cubs. Brought to you by Peak Sport and Spine in Osage Beach and Camdenton, Rice Concrete in Laurie, Mike Heitman State Farm Insurance in Osage Beach, Burger Smokehouse in California, Quick Car in Osage Beach, Chances Are Restaurant in Laurie, Mike Riley Construction in Osage Beach, Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Laurie, Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia, AB Pest Control in Osage Beach, Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon, Blinds and More in Osage Beach, and Precision Auto in Osage Beach.
When you're at the Lake of the Ozarks, I invite you to visit Burger Smokehouse. Learn about Burger Smokehouse history in the Visitor Center. Try a sample of our delicious smoked meat in our deli. Browse the Factory Country store for our handcrafted bacon, authentic St. Louis ribs, and of course our famous country ham. Take Highway 87 north at Eldon and follow the road signs to Burger Smokehouse. Or you can find our products in grocery stores throughout the lake area. Burger Smokehouse, a Lake of the Ozarks tradition since 1952.
This is the Burger Smokehouse pregame show with LakeTV Sports Director William Holtz and sports personality Steve Goldberg.
Live here, this is your Burger Smokehouse pregame show. William Holtz joined with Steve Goldberg, and it's the state quarterfinals. What a matchup we got, Steve. What do you got for us?
Huge matchup tonight down in Osage Beach. Osage, Monett, 10-2 teams, two of them on the gridiron tonight. One of them will advance to the state semifinals. The other one will go home.
So you got Monett coming in at 10-2 off an impressive year. They run an interesting style offense. Touch on that a little bit, Steve.
Well, Monett operates out of the flex bone, and for college football fans, that'll look very similar to Navy's offense. It's a triple option, and it really centers around the quarterback, Zach Hammond, and he does an excellent job controlling that offense both through the air and on the ground.
Yeah, he's had an impressive season thus far, passing for nearly 1,100 yards. He's got 11 touchdowns through the air, and then he's got 16 on the ground. And he's the Cubs' leading rusher at over 600 yards, and he's had a good season. But when you talk with Coach Dupay, he didn't want to say that was his favorite player. He said it's been a team effort. But you got to think Hammond is really who the offense runs through.
Well, while the offense runs through him, they do have a lot of valuable weapons on both sides of the ball. I want to touch on the defense especially. They run a 3-3-5 defense, so they have a lot of safety help and a lot of corner presence. They really do a lockdown job on their coverage.
Yeah, you talk about Monett. They're a very, very good team defensively, offensively, but so is their opponent, the Osage Indians, coming off a huge win a week ago. They were down 14 late in the game. They were the beneficiary of a boneheaded play by Mountain Grove, a fake punt 4th and 8 in their own 20-yard line. That's a muff play. Osage gets the stop. They go on to score. They then do an onside kick. They don't get it, but their defense is able to hold Mountain Grove. They get it back tied up right before overtime to send it to overtime, get a touchdown. They end up winning in dramatic fashion, find themselves here tonight in this quarterfinal matchup. If you were to talk about one Monett player that really catches your attention, who would that be?
Spotlight player of the game, like we mentioned, has to be Zach Hammond, the quarterback and the primary leader of that Monett offense. Like we said, the offense revolves around him. It all starts with a great quarterback play in the triple option.
Yeah, he's had an excellent season thus far, and we think everything runs through him. Not just offensively, but he'll be a presence on defense as well, and that's why Zach Hammond is our spotlight player of the game. Now for Osage, going into their spotlight player of the game, of course sponsored by State Farm Mike Heitman Insurance right here in Osage Beach, you got to talk about a kid named Colin Samuelson, coming off a huge game a week ago, 297 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, including the game-tying score that sent it to overtime. And he had 190 of those yards just in the second half alone. And after last week's game, he's the all-time leading receiver yard-wise for the Indians in program history. And that's an impressive feat, especially for such a storied program. And he's our spotlight player of the game. Comes in with over 1,200 yards receiving. He's got 14 touchdown grabs through the air. And what a season he's had. He's getting not just high school recognition, but a little bit of national recognition. This week we were able to see him on the USA Today website for high school sports, and we actually have a clip of a acrobatic catch, kind of a circus catch he made a week ago, and USA Today talked about it being a Rob Gronkowski-like catch, and we've actually got some footage of that we'll show you right here. Check out the grab made by Samuelson on this play. You see Riley there looking for him, and he rolls out of the pocket and throws it. Ball looks like it's out of his reach, and wow, what a grab right there by Colin Samuelson. Pulls it down to get the first down and keep the drive moving. And he's a guy that I really think is going to be an impact player in tonight's game.
Yeah, key player for Osage and somebody that Monett needs to defend tonight. I would expect to see a lot of double coverage on Samuelson, as Monett has to be planning on trying to take him out of the game from the get-go at an early pace in the game. And if they can do that, if they can somehow control the star wide receiver from Osage, Monett could be well on their way to a victory tonight.
Yeah, but the only thing you think about, if you put too much concentration on a guy like Colin Samuelson, this Osage Indian team is just full of playmakers. You talk about the Justin Heisers, the Jake Ulmers. You talk about the McLaughlin. That's Britton McLaughlin, the senior wideout on the other side, lining up from him. I mean, this team makes plays all over the field, so if you put too much concentration on one guy, it's going to leave other guys to make plays, and that's a big concern for Coach Dupay and his staff.
So many weapons on that Osage team, and that's why they've been one of the most fun teams that we've had the opportunity to cover this season. Just so many weapons, both offensively and defensively. They got a great quarterback play. They have a great receiving core, and their running backs are very spectacular as well.
Another guy, while we got an opportunity to talk about, love to touch on Jake Ulmer. What a player he's been. He's been our spotlight player of the game 2 times already this season. He's a tight end a year ago. He had 15 touchdowns a season ago from the tight end position. Now under head coach Devin Johnson his first year, he's made the transfer to running back, but he's going to do a lot of things. He's going to come out of that tailback position. He's going to catch passes out of the backfield. He'll line up in motion and line up as a receiver, and he is a dangerous threat downfield. So if you see Monett concentrate on Colin Samuelson, like I said, that's going to leave a lot of opportunities for guys like Ulmer and the rest of that crew.
And if you're Monett, you can't just load up on pass coverage. You have to watch out for the running backs. And Jake Ulmer is certainly a very talented running back, a power back, like you said. He transitioned from tight end to the running back position this season, but that just makes him an even bigger weapon, being able to catch passes out of the backfield like that.
Another thing Steve will talk about, I mean, no one really put Osage in this game anyway. Coming into the season, coming off a rough 4-6 campaign a year ago under Dan Henderson, here they are a year later, and they're 10-2. I mean, the pigskin preview out of Columbia from KOMU had them at 6-3, and questionably maybe 5-4. They said, you know, a couple of those games were kind of up in the air. And look at them now. I mean, this team under Coach Devin Johnson, the Hallsville coach who comes down in his first year. It's a new culture here at Osage, and they really believe this is a team that not only can make some noise tonight, but possibly into those semifinals and maybe find themselves in a state title game.
And as a team, that really does put a chip on your shoulder, being projected to finish somewhere in the middle. This is a Osage team full of seniors, very proud senior class, which we'll touch on more during the game tonight. And these guys want to go out with a win, and they won a district championship. They have a chance to advance to the state semifinals. They're going to lay it all out on the line in tonight's game.
So obviously Osage won a week ago in their district championship to get here, as did their opponent, the Monett Cubs. Talk about that game last week that Monett played against Reed Springs.
Well, Monett got off to a little bit of a shaky start. They fumbled twice in the first quarter. It was actually scoreless at halftime, but then Monett kicked it into gear in the third quarter. They actually went with a no-huddle offense in the middle of the third quarter, completely changed the pace of the game. They caught Reed Spring off guard. Expect Osage to be prepared for that no-huddle offense tonight. But it was a touchdown drive led by the QB and our spotlight player of the game, Zach Hammond, and then a big interception return for a touchdown by Levi Fitzner. Really put the nail in the coffin.
That's another guy. We're not going to touch on him too much, but Fitzner's a playmaker, and I expect him to have an impact in tonight's game. So that's going to wrap up our Burger Smokehouse pregame show. Don't go anywhere, folks. Right after this on Lake TV, we've got the Class 3 Missouri State Playoffs. This is quarterfinal matchup only on Lake TV. Steve Goldberg, William Holtz. We'll be right back after this.
Rice Concrete Incorporated strives to provide the best service in concrete construction at the Lake of the Ozarks. Rice Concrete Construction Company is a full-line decorative concrete company specializing in decorative concrete, coloring and stamping, texturing, patios, sidewalks, basements, steps, foundations, and retaining walls. Have your new project stand out from all of your neighbors. Not to mention it will add to your property value. Rice Concrete Incorporated. We arrive as a business and leave as a friend.
With locations across central Missouri and St. Louis, Peak Sport and Spine has your therapy needs covered. Stop in and see Jessica Cheney at the Osage Beach location. From the field to the workplace and even into retirement, Peak Sport and Spine will get you back in the game or back to work.
Back here on Lake TV, and before we get this one started earlier tonight, we were able to catch up with a member of the staff at Old Kinderhook, Jeff Carroll, and we had a pretty good interview with him, so we'll go ahead and talk with Jeff. Let's see what we had from him.
Lake TV's William Holtz, joined by Jeff Carroll, Director of Business Development at Old Kinderhook, and some exciting things going on at Old Kinderhook. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we've got a perfect night to talk about the ice rink out at Old Kinderhook. We're building a pond hockey-size ice rink, which is about half the size of a regular ice rink, and the grand opening will be December 4th.
It'll be awesome. Go out there, and you said some fire pits and other things are out there?
Yep, we've got a cabana. We're going to be offering s'mores. There'll be fire pits. It's located close enough to the trophy room and to the hotel that we're building to you can bring your kids out, send them out on the ice, and sit and watch them play.
I'm pretty excited about this grand opening you guys got coming up the 4th. Talk about a little of the events and the entertainment you guys got that night.
Yeah, Sean C is going to be our live entertainment for the night, and then we're also going to have some other entertainment. We'll have an ice skating demonstration from the Mizzou synchronized skating team. We're going to have a pond hockey demonstration that night. We're going to have a Releve Dance Studio is going to do a dance demonstration for us, and then we're excited. We've got an extra special guest that night, a gentleman by the name of Ken Morrow, who was four-time Stanley Cup winner and on the Miracle on Ice hockey team, and the only NHL player to have a Stanley Cup ring and a gold medal in the same year. And so he'll be down signing autographs. We're excited about that.
It'll be awesome. We'll have to get down and get our own autograph. That's pretty exciting. So talk about, that night's pretty exciting, but how about in the summer? What are you guys going to do with the ice rink?
Well, in the summertime, it'd be a little expensive for us to keep the ice rink frozen all year. So we're going to turn it into sand volleyball courts, which will give us just another amenity out at Old Kinderhook. We've got the Weiskopf Signature Design Championship Golf Course, and we've got the new 84-room hotel, which will be opening in the first part of 2015. And so the ice rink and the sand volleyball courts, just another amenity to enjoy when you're out at Old Kinderhook.
All right, so Jeff Carroll here with us. Your ties here to the Osage Indian football program are very, very deep. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I graduated in '88 from Osage, and I'm so proud of the Indians this year and the games that they've played. I've got to see numerous games this year, and just amazing how they pulled out some of the wins that they have. I didn't get the luxury of playing on this beautiful turf, but the guys are going to do a great job tonight, and we hope they take it all the way.
All right, Jeff Carroll with Old Kinderhook joining William Holtz on Lake TV. We'll be back with playoff football right after this.
Nobody but nobody
earns your business like Rick Ball Ford.
Low overhead
Means everyday low prices, big trade-ins,
and satisfied customers.
Take a little drive this weekend
And save some big bucks. That's the Rick Ball way to buy. Boonville and Sedalia.
Your vehicle, it's part of who you are. It's your partner in weekday traffic and your passport to weekend fun. It's your sometimes office and your all-the-time concert hall. For all your vehicle is to you, isn't it time you did something for it too? Introducing the Quick Car Monthly Unlimited Wash Club. For only $20 a month, wash your car as often as you want. Enjoy significant savings and never worry if it's going to rain or not. Join the Wash Club today. Quick Car, quick, easy, and professional every time.
And here we are on Lake TV, where the Monett Cubs will be kicking to the Osage Indians. I'm William Holtz, play-by-play for the night, joined by my color guy, Steve Goldberg. Welcome to the booth, I guess you could say, Steve.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Kickoff inside the 25, fielded there. Russell now trying to get outside across the 30, has some good yardage, and he'll be taken down right there at about the 37-yard line. And on the tackle for the Monett Cubs, that's number 28, and that's Wesley Abramovitz, and he is a playmaker on both sides of the ball. We'll look for his name to be called quite often tonight.
Well, a short kick there, and Osage will have great field position here on their first drive.
Yeah, inside their 40, and you're going to see Austin Riley at quarterback. Spread offense right now, 3 wide receivers to the right side. Lone receiver to your left is Samuelson. He's looking to the right. He's got Ulmer in the flat for a couple yards. We're going to give him 4, maybe 5, up to about the 44 before being taken down right there by Mason Swearingen, the sophomore. And that's a good start for Riley. You get him a completion, and get his confidence going a little bit, Steve.
Going to Ulmer right there on the first play.
Here's the handoff. Once again, that's Ulmer, and he'll be upended right about the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him one. This parade brought to you by Burger Smokehouse. They've been serving this nation the best bacon and other smoked meat since 1952. They ship nationwide and offer dessert and unique gift packs. Visit them online at smokehouse.com. Riley now the option. He's going to keep it, and nice play right there. Monett knew it was coming. They stayed home, and they'll be taken down after a very short gain on third down. They're going to give him about one maybe.
And Monett knows the option better than anybody else, doing a nice job containing the quarterback right there.
Yeah, no
Looks
doubt.
like Osage going to be punting here on fourth down.
Yeah, nice stand by the Monett defense to start. And the punt formation comes out for Osage from their own 45-yard line. And back to return, Cameron Witt back, and Ulmer now, he boosts this one. The weather should be a factor tonight, Steve. That one goes out of bounds, and it's a cold night. That's a hard football. That's going to be tough to get very much distance on your punts, I'd say.
Yeah, it's chilly today, mid-20s at night. Gentle breeze, though. The wind not that big of a factor. I thought that it could have been a bigger factor tonight, but no wind early on.
So this first possession by the Monett Cubs brought to you by Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia. They're proud to be the area's premier dealer for new and used vehicles. When another dealer tells you nobody can beat their deal, just visit Mr. Nobody Rick Ball. So here we go now. Monett going to start from their own 30-yard line. And you like their quarterback a lot. Zach Hammond in there. You like him. That's going to be given to the fullback. From the fullback position, a very modest gain.
Hammond, a senior, really understands this offense, the flexbone offense for Monett. Very similar to Navy in college football.
Yeah, Navy runs that offense, like you said, very similar. That's Hall who gets the carry, and he'll be taken down after a short gain of one. We're just 2 minutes into this one, and your score, of course, 0-0. 2nd and 9 now upcoming for the Cubs. Same play they ran this time. This time, though, a different runner, and Osage's front stands strong, pushing him back and leading the way for the Indians, Leland Scott. And Abramovitz has a modest gain. We're going to give him 3, and that'll bring up 3rd and about 5, maybe 6.
Osage's defense looking very sharp there on those first 2 plays.
Chances are Restaurant in Laurie is a Lake area favorite and have been for over 25 years. Come find out why they've won Best Value of the Lake 3 years running, and chances are you'll be back. So here's the first third down. It's going to be a toss sweep outside. He's got the edge and then pushed out at about the 40-yard line. We're going to see where they spot this. Very close to a first down. I think the initial spot's going to have him just an inch or so shy.
It's about a yard short of the first down there. Side judge standing along on the 40-yard line. First down marker at the 41.
So they're gonna bring up 4th and 1, and a new package coming in here, the punting unit for Monett. So they look to punt, but no guarantee in a short yardage situation.
Yeah, 3 and outs on both sides on the first drive of the game.
Might see a lot of that, Steve. Both defenses very sound. Both defenses disciplined. And a cold night, it's going to be tough to get something going offensively.
Well, Monett, as we mentioned last week, in a tight, low-scoring game. Osage, on the other end of things, a very high-scoring game against Mountain Grove.
Indeed, they were. Ulmer with the fair catch at about the 27-yard line. We're going to stay right here. This Osage Indian Drive brought to you by Peak Sport and Spine, with locations across Missouri and St. Louis. Peak Sport and Spine has your therapy needs covered. Stop in and see Jessica Cheney at the Osage Beach location. From the field to the workplace and even into retirement, Peak Sport and Spine will get you back in the game or back to work. Visit them at sportspine.com. Here's Riley now out of the shotgun looking for Ulmer. That one a little out of his reach, off his hand, falls harmlessly to the turf, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
And great pass coverage there by Tyler Ash, getting a hand in there to break it up.
Yeah, nice job, Ash. A nice running back. Of course, you talk about Hammond, the quarterback. He leads the team in rushing, but Ash, that second receiver, or that second yardage gainer for Monett. Here's Heiser now in motion. He'll take the handoff, cut inside. Nice little move. Got some decent yardage. It's still going, and he's going to work his way up to about the 37-yard line, 32-yard line rather. My mistake, and he's going to have about 5 yards on the 2nd down carry. Steve?
And Heiser fighting for those extra yards there. It looked like it was only going to be a minimal gain, maybe 1 or 2. He ended up turning it into a gain of 5.
Yeah, Heiser, a tough runner. We talked about him earlier today. He's a playmaker that makes plays on both sides of the ball. On third down now, here's the throw. Riley has his favorite target. That's Samuelson, who lowers his head and is up to about the 45-yard line before being taken down by Cameron Witt, and that's good for an Indian first down.
And Riley initially was looking at Jeb Robertson on the near sideline and baited Monett's defense.
Yeah,
now,
nice
the coverage
look
was
off.
tighter on Robertson, but it left Samuelson open.
So Riley now. There's a little reverse. Samuelson, the ball on the turf, and he has to just fall on it there for a big loss. I think they were going for the reverse option pass, and I'll tell you what, Riley was running down the field as a receiver, and we have the Monett coaches right next to us up here on top of the booth, and they called it out early, and it was, but busted play to no avail, and that's going to bring up second and very long
Colin
for the Indians.
Samuelson couldn't handle the pitch, and
here's the give to Ulmer. Now gets outside, cuts back inside, lowers his head, and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That's good for 11 yards, and it'll bring up about a 3rd and 10. So nice job by the Indians to get a big chunk of yardage and make this third down more manageable.
you have to like that if you're Osage, a much more manageable 3rd and 10.
So they're going to go 4 wide receivers. The bottom of your screen, you see 4 wides, and now Heiser in motion. Fake the handoff to him. They're going to go Ulmer with the bubble screen, and that's going to be bottled up, and he'll be taken down at about the 46-yard line. So he'll get 1 yard, and that's it on 3rd and 10, and the Indians will be forced to punt once again.
And not a lot of room over there on that side of the field. As you said, 4 wide receivers were lined up on that left side.
So Osage will be forced to punt. Ulmer will get another crack at it. So he stands at about his 32-yard line. And then Cameron Witt back to return. Ooh, that one's blocked at the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be down at the 45-yard line. So a big special teams play by Monett. I'm not sure who got a hand on it, but what a play right there.
Yeah, complete shift in momentum now as Monett will have the ball in great field position. And that block punt was brought to you by Polylift Boat Lifts. Polylift Boat Lifts are the first choice for knowledgeable boat owners. With a stellar reputation and the best warranty in the industry, Polylift sets itself apart as the trusted solution for protecting your watercraft.
Fakes the pitch, now throws wide open. That's his man. That's going to be a Monett touchdown. Fitzner, we talked about him in the break, strung wide open, and that's some busted coverage in the secondary on the misdirection play, and that goes for 55 yards, and your first score of the play is a touchdown to Fitzner.
Fitzner with a huge play defensively. He ran an interception back for a touchdown in last week's win. Now he has the first spark of the game offensively for either team, and I think Osage was caught a little bit off guard there with the play-action pass.
Yeah, no doubt, busted coverage, to say the least, and Monett's up early here, 6-0.
And just the arm strength of Austin Riley to be able to find Fitzner deep down the field.
Fulton, the kick is up, it's good, the extra point goes through, and your score is 7-0. You're watching exclusive coverage of Osage Indian football on Lake TV.
Hi, I'm Joni Walden. Welcome to Blinds and More. The tax credit is back. Take advantage of a federal tax credit opportunity of up to $500 and also save on your energy bill at the same time.
When you dress your windows with Hunter Douglas window fashions, you don't just change your home, you transform it. With light-enhancing designs and innovations in engineering and style, significantly reducing energy loss through windows, making your home more inviting and beautiful. Hunter Douglas window fashions, backed by a lifetime guarantee.
For over 60 years, Burger's Smokehouse has offered the nation's largest selection of authentic smoked meat gifts, and we ship anywhere in the U.S. Browse our catalog online at smokehouse.com. Burger's Smokehouse, simple tradition since 1952.
And we're back here on Lake TV, and it's Monett who strikes first in the state quarterfinal matchup on a 55-yard touchdown pass from Hammond to Fitzner, and they lead 7-0. Osage behind a decent-sized crowd here. will look to strike next. I'll tell you what, that was a nice play right there by Monett, Steve.
Well, it was a great offensive play for Monett, but set up by the block punt on special teams.
Absolutely, big special teams play, and they're able to capitalize. There's a short kick, fielded right there at about the 30, and nice coverage by Monett. I'll tell you what, they look like they're ready to play. That's Russell Williams, the second time they've done one of those short kicks, and Osage decent field position once again, but really nice kick coverage.
Yeah, second time around, the kick coverage was much better for Monett than the first time. First time Osage had the ball at the 39. They'll be back right around the 35 here.
So they're going to remain under center now instead of out of the shotgun. Actually, I guess not remain. This will be the first time we've seen Riley under center. He's going to give to Ulmer, gets outside. He's got some room. He's going to try to get, sealing the edge. Nice block out there. I'll tell you what, really nice block right there by Britton McLaughlin on the outside. Did a nice job to seal the edge, and Ulmer's able to get first down yardage and move the chain. So nice play. We're going to give him 13 yards on that play.
And Ulmer's vision as a back two, finding the seam set up by McLaughlin like you mentioned, and getting outside there on the sweep. Positive pickup.
So that'll be 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's the give. Ulmer once again. They'll try the other side, and just swarming to the ball carrier are the Monett defenders, and that's a modest gain. We'll give them 1, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, the Cubs not allowing anything up the middle there. Ulmer was trying to fight his way forward for yards, and he only got 1.
Quick Car in Osage Beach, where if you become part of the Unlimited Car Wash Club, you can get your car washed every day at one low monthly rate. The Quick Car off of Osage Beach. And actually, here's a pass looking for Robertson, and that is very nearly intercepted. What a play right there. That's Kedrick Brink, who very nearly came up with the interception, and Robinson had to turn into a defender and knocks it away from him.
Yeah, Riley lobbed that ball up into double coverage, and Monett had it read out perfectly the whole way.
Back to Quick Car for one low monthly rate. You can get your car washed every day. That's Quick Car off Osage Beach Parkway in Osage Beach, where they like to keep it clean. So Osage took a shot downfield, and just a nice defensive play by the receiver. Riley now under pressure, has his man. That's Brad Russell in the flat, but a very modest gain. He'll be taken down after about a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 5, maybe 6. And Osage is going to be forced to punt again, Steve.
Yeah, pressure coming on that last play, all created by Tyler Ash. We've called his name a couple of times so far early on in the first quarter, and he's been doing it all on defense.
No doubt. So Ulmer in the punt now. Wouldn't be surprised, you know, if Osage continues to struggle to get things going offensively. If you get a short yardage situation, you could see a fake. Not this time. Ulmer going to boot it. And that's going to be another short punt. That's inside the 20, it looks like, and that's where Monett will take over right about their 20-yard line. You're watching Osage Indian football on LakeTV. We're back here on LakeTV. William Holtz joined by Steve Goldberg, and Burr is it cold, and it will be all winter. Don't deal with drafts or on your windows. Get specialized winter blinds that can make your home much more efficient. Only at Blinds and More in Osage Beach.
Yeah, chilly night tonight in Osage Beach, but the wind's still calm.
Wind's still calm, my toes still numb along with my fingers, but it's a good night for football, no doubt.
Trying to stay warm up here on top of the press box. Showing off your dance moves here, Will.
Getting a little bit. You hear the good music always played by the PA system here at Osage. They always have good tuning. So here we go now, Monett. Their 3rd drive of the night, the inside handoff, nothing doing, and that's going to be stopped there by a swarm of Osage defenders. Witherspoon in there leading the way.
Yeah, when you break down the triple option, the quarterback really has 3 options. He can either keep the ball himself, he can either pitch it back to one of the backs or hand it off, and usually the handoff goes up the middle.
Yeah, you've seen it already a handful of times. They've tried that play that they love to run, and all 3 times so far it's went to the inside handoff, and you've seen Osage. They've stayed home. They've been ready for it. I mean, they've watched it all week on film.
Monett really burned them, though, on that play-action fake.
Here's the quarterback. Hammond, a nice job trying to get outside, but taken down there and upended. Good pursuit to the ball carrier by Russell Williams, and then taken down by Heiser. And number 42 for the Indians, that's Joe Francescos.
And a big hit there by Francescos at the end, an exclamation point, but Hammond, a gain of 5. Very reasonable 3rd and 5 coming up here for Monett. We'll see if they decide to throw the football again.
Yeah, on that play defensively, Heiser got him low, and like you said, Francesco's just waylaid him down to the turf, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 at the 4-minute mark. We'll see what Monett tries to do offensively here. You talked about it, Steve. Maybe they'll go through the air. Here we go. Hammond now rolling out. He's under pressure. Being flushed. He throws, and he has to throw it short. He was under pressure, and streaking down the field was Fitzner once again, and he wasn't able to get enough on the pass. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 5 and force Monett into a punting situation, Steve.
Yeah, the pressure created by both of these teams for Osage and Monett really forcing these quarterbacks to make quick decisions. And that time, Hammond was flushed out of the pocket. He tried to throw on the run. A great job escaping the pressure, as it looked like he could have been sacked initially. But unfortunately for Monett, couldn't pick up the 5 yards necessary for the 1st down, and we'll have another punt.
Ooh, very nearly. There's going to be a running into the kicker right here. Ulmer gets the fair catch at midfield, but we got running into the kicker back here, which should be an automatic 1st down. It's a 5-yard penalty instead of the roughing the kicker, which is the 15-yard beret. Nope, they're gonna call roughing the kicker, which is a judgment call, Steve.
Right.
And they're going to call it a personal foul. It's going to be a 1st down.
Well, they called running into the kicker there, so that's a 5-yard penalty. Not an automatic 1st down, but with a 4th and 5 in that situation, now Monett has the 1st.
No, they call personal foul, roughing the kicker. They're call personal foul, 15-yard penalty. They're going to move it up to the 40-yard line. That's a big penalty if you're the Indians. I mean, you're going to get the ball back, and that is just rough to do that in this situation. They're going to have it at midfield, and instead you give it back to Monett at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, and that's a big difference there, too, between running into the kicker and roughing the kicker, like you mentioned. A judgment call there by the official.
Yeah, I mean, I originally thought it was running into the kicker, but I'd seen him make the personal foul indication. So 1st and 10 now for Monett from the 40-yard line. Here's the pitch outside. Nice job by Leland Scott and Justin Heiser pushing the ball carrier Jackson outside, and I think he lost a couple. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 13. Precision Auto's your hometown automotive repair and tire shop. With over 27 years experience, Precision Auto and Tire pride themselves on fast and efficient work at reasonable prices. Stop in and see them off of Industrial Drive in Osage Beach. Under center on Hammond, 2nd and 13 after the nice play by the Osage defense. Inside give, and we got a flag, and I'll tell you what, good thing for Osage, because I'll tell you what, Abramovitz had some running yards up the middle, and he may have went all the way.
Yeah, there was a hole up the middle there, and I'm not sure that Osage was going to be able to track him down.
But nonetheless, it's going to be a false start, and that'll back him up about 5 yards and bring up 2nd down and 18. We've got 3:31 remaining in this 1st quarter of play. Mike Rice and Rice Concrete brings over 30 years of concrete experience to the table while setting the standard for all your concrete needs around the lake. From decorative concrete and coloring and stamping, all the way to foundations and retaining walls, Mike Rice is your guy. Visit him at riceconcreteinc.com or call him at 374-0144. That's Rice Concrete in Laurie, Missouri. So the inside give once again, and there's Abramovitz, and he's got good yardage before being taken down at about the 45-yard line. In on the tackle, I think that's Crosby, number 59 for the Indians. Michael Crosby, the senior. He gets the stop, but not before a big gain on 2nd and long. And once again on 2nd and long, Monett able to shorten the distance and bring up a very manageable 3rd down, Steve.
Yeah, Osage had a chance to tackle him at the line of scrimmage. Abramovitz able to shake it off, and he ended up running for another 13 yards after that.
Yeah, big play on 2nd down, and here we are, 3rd and 5 from the 45-yard line. Outside, and that's going to be Jackson. Heiser now, he strips it. That ball's on the ground, and we'll wait to see who comes up with it. There is a flag back behind the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you what, Heiser came in and just stripped that thing out of there. Luckily for Monett, they're able to fall on it, and we'll wait for the call on the penalty, but nice play by Heiser. He's got 2 fumble recoveries, 3 interceptions. He's taken 2 picks back to the house this year. What a year defensively he's had.
Well, the Indians had him wrapped up right there, and then Heiser came in, and you could see it in his eyes. He was going for the strip, as his teammates did the rest of the job there, wrapping up the running back.
They're going to get a holding call against Monett, and I like the call by Coach Johnson to decline the penalty, or to accept the penalty, because if you decline it, it's going to bring up 4th and 3, and potentially they're able to go for it there. You push her back 10 yards from that spot, and essentially that's actually about a 15-yard penalty, because instead of 4th and 2, you're going to have 3rd and 17.
Yeah, now it's 3rd and 17, and Monett's offense, more of a slow, grinding type of offense right now. We haven't seen the hurry up that we saw last week out of Monett, and Monett came in the 3rd quarter, and they ran the hurry up offense, and it really caught Reed Spring off guard.
Yeah, I ended up winning that game 21-0 because of that change they made at the break. But that penalty is now declined, so that will bring up a 4th and short. And these officials having all kinds of trouble, but why don't we have a minute?
Well, your local State Farm agent, Mike Heitman. You can call Mike at 348-1737 or stop by and see him at the Kings Plaza off of Osage Beach Parkway.
So that's going to bring up, I don't know if you can hear him, but the Monett coaches are all about it. I think the forward progress was stopped there, and seeing the fumble was recovered by Monett. I'm not sure it can be advanced, or I don't know exactly what the call is. Nonetheless, it's 4 and 5, and Monett brings in their punt unit.
Yeah, and the difference between 3 and 5, maybe if it's 4th and 3, you would consider going for it, but 4th and 5, you definitely have to bring out the punt unit, and that's what Monett is doing.
And here we are, and very nearly blocked, and no penalty that time. Ulmer, fair catch at about his 22-yard line. That's where Osage is going to start 1st and 10 on their next set of downs. You're watching Osage Indian football on LakeTV. We'll be right back after this.
Keep your car rolling down the road.
The right tire for you depends on the roads you drive, the loads you carry, and the vehicle you own. The experts at Precision Auto and Tire will help you make the right tire choice. They stock most major brands like Michelin, Goodyear, Bridgestone, Firestone, Toyo, and more, all at the lowest possible price. Keep your car rolling and your family safe with Precision Auto and Tire, Osage Beach.
Keep your car rolling down the road.
0% APR means hot savings.
Right here at Rick Ball Ford.
Get spectacular Ford savings on almost every car and SUV with 0% for 72 months. 0%, 6 years.
Hot summer deal.
At family-owned Rick Ball Ford, Boonville and Sedalia.
Back here on LakeTV, I'm William Holtz, joined by Steve Goldberg. Osage, nice defensive stand. They're going to take over at their own 21-yard line with a 1st and 10. We'll see if their offense can't get something going here, Steve. They've really looked stagnant so far.
Yeah, we're starting field position of the game, though, set up by a nice punt.
Yeah, it was a good punt. Here's the give up the middle inside. I think that's Heiser. He may have a couple yards. Yeah, he's going to have about 2. Mike Riley Construction is your guy from new construction, remodeling to all construction needs. Call him at 216-4270 or email him at sriley300@charter.net. 2nd down and 8. Let's see some kind of play action possibly. Stretch the field. Osage loves to use their aerial attack. Riley now flushed out of the pocket. He rolls to his right, throws, and looking for Samuelson, and that's going to be picked. I think that's Abramovitz. I think looking for Samuelson and knocked out of the air is Abramovitz. He pulls it in, and that's an interception for the star from Monett. Nice play right there.
Tip drill right there. Ball goes up, and Abramovitz's eyes were on the football. He was able to secure it and make the catch. Excellent play.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it almost looked like he could have ran through Samuelson right there and interfered with him a little bit. Nonetheless, it was too close to really throw a flag on it, and Monett makes a big play on defense, and that's our first turnover of the game.
And Monett with their best starting field position now at the 30-yard line, short field ahead of them.
So 1st and 10 at the Osage 30. Under center, it's Hammond. The inside give and then drug back, and now the ball's on the ground. And somehow Monett recovers, and that is a 9-yard gain on the fumble, and an interesting play. I tell you, we had a game at Camden a couple weeks ago with the Lakers and Rolla kicked a ball. It was 3rd and 7 or something of the sort, and there was a fumble that a Camden player allegedly kicked forward, and a Rolla player fell on it for a 1st down, and similar looking play. Here's the fake, looking to the end zone once again, looking for his guy, and it is incomplete. not able to haul it in, and he was looking once again for Fitzner on the exact same play we saw that touchdown on earlier, Steve.
Yeah, one-on-one right there, and great decision to go up for it, and Fitzner almost hauled it in.
Very nearly just off his fingertips, and Jacob Ulmer had the coverage, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 for Monett with just about a minute remaining here in this first quarter of play. Apperson Utility Contracting Eldon is your source for installation of underground utilities. Call the Apperson at 392-8228. Here's the inside give on 3rd and 1, and that's a first down yardage. Tackle made by Crosby, not before we had a first down.
Yeah, I got the first down and more right there, fighting for a few extra yards at the end of the play.
Indeed. AB Pest Control is the Lake area's most trusted pest control company. AB would like to commend the Indians on a spectacular 2014 season and give a special shout out to an incredible senior class. Roll, Tribe, roll from AB Pest Control. So inside a minute to play in this first quarter, and it has been Monett's quarter, honestly, and then, shaking off a would-be sack is Hammond, showing some shiftiness, and he'll be drugged down inside the 10-yard line, but nice run by the quarterback, making guys miss left and right.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be hit back around the line of scrimmage and spinning his way out of one tackle, dodging another one, and Hammond a bruiser on the ground.
Yeah, he's looked tough to bring down, and that may conclude our first quarter of play. It will, so we're going to switch ends, and we'll bring it right back on Lake TV. You're watching Osage Indian football on Lake TV.
Rice Concrete Incorporated strives to provide the best service in concrete construction at the Lake of the Ozarks. Rice Concrete Construction Company is a full-line decorative concrete company specializing in decorative concrete, coloring and stamping, texturing, patios, sidewalks, basements, steps, foundations, and retaining walls. Have your new project stand out from all of your neighbors. Not to mention it will add to your property value. Rice Concrete Incorporated. We arrive as a business and leave as a friend.
With locations across central Missouri and St. Louis, Peak Sport and Spine has your therapy needs covered. Stop in and see Jessica Cheney at the Osage Beach location. From the field to the workplace and even into retirement, Peak Sport and Spine will get you back in the game or back to work. Now, Lake TV brings you state quarterfinal playoffs between the Osage Indians and the Monett Cubs. Brought to you by Peak Sport and Spine in Osage Beach and Camdenton, Rice Concrete in Laurie, Mike Heitman State Farm Insurance in Osage Beach, Burger Smokehouse in California, Quick Car in Osage Beach, Chances Are Restaurant in Laurie, Mike Riley Construction in Osage Beach, Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Laurie, Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia, AB Pest Control in Osage Beach, Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon, Blinds and More in Osage Beach, and Precision Auto in Osage Beach.
We're back here on Lake TV, and after one quarter of play, Monett has been in control.
Absolutely, and it was that one big pass play down the field to Fitzner. Kind of a botched play by Osage, and Fitzner was wide open. Hammond found him running down the field, and Fitzner went all the way to the house for the first score and the only score of the game so far.
And Monett knocking on the door once again, and it was a big special teams play like you said earlier. The block punt gave him great field position, took them all of one play from the 45 to find Fitzner. And I'll tell you what, they're knocking on the doorstep right here again with an opportunity to score. So we'll see. First quarter, all Monett. They're knocking on the door, and I'll tell you what, Osage needs a stop, and they need it badly right here. You'd hate to fall behind 14-0 at home early in the second quarter of what is a huge state quarterfinal matchup. So this second quarter brought to you by Burger Smokehouse. They've been serving the nation's best bacon and other smoked meat since 1952. Not only do they ship nationwide, but they also offer desserts and unique gift packs. Visit them online at smokehouse.com. That's Burger Smokehouse. Simple tradition since 1952. The inside give, and that's a Crosby in on the stop. That's Ash, the ball carrier, and he has the first down inside the 5, and that's going to bring up a first down and goal for Monett. Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia is proud to be the area's premier dealer for new and used vehicles. When another dealer tells you no one can beat their deal, all you got to do is visit Mr. Nobody Rick Ball. Visit him online at rickballfordsedalia.com.
See what Monett dials up here, trying to punch it in inside the 5.
First and goal. There's the give and nothing doing. Leland Scott gets the stop. And Ash just stopped at the line of scrimmage.
And the Monett coaching staff next to us wants the offense to spread out a little bit more. Now, instead of that look going straight up the middle, it allows Osage to bunch the defense and center right there.
Osage does an excellent job of swarming the ball carrier. As it is, you really don't want to make that any easier on them, as it will be. It's going to be second and goal from the 4. Under center, Hammond. It's going to be the quarterback option. He's going to keep it inside, and he'll be taken down inside the 5-yard line at about the 2-yard line. In on the stop is Robertson for the Indians. That'll bring up 3rd and goal. Be big here if the Indians can hold them to a field goal.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 now. Would they keep it on the ground or possibly go to the air? Maybe a fade to the corner for Fitzner.
Maybe play action, try to find tight end in the flat. You never know in 3rd and 2. And obviously this close to the end zone could be 4-down territory. We'll just wait and see. Here's the Indian faithful making a little noise. Here's the pitch outside. And I think he's into the end zone. And he is. That's a touchdown. Wow, that's a big play on 3rd and goal. And that's number 46. That's Beeson for the carry. I don't have his name on the roster, but what a run and a nice play set up by the good blocking on the edge by the line right there by Monett. And they're going to go up 13-0 at the 10:21 mark.
Yeah, Hammond pitching that ball inside. Beeson doing the work.
Extra point on to attempt that. And it's up and is good. So kicker George Fulton kicks it through, and Monett leads the Osage Indians 14-0. It's still early. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Nobody but nobody
earns your business like Rick Ball Ford.
Low overhead
Means everyday low prices, big trade-ins,
and satisfied customers.
Take a little drive this weekend
And save some big bucks. That's the Rick Ball way to buy. Boonville and Sedalia.
Your vehicle, it's part of who you are. It's your partner in weekday traffic and your passport to weekend fun. It's your sometimes office and your all-the-time concert hall. For all your vehicle is to you, isn't it time you did something for it too? Introducing the Quick Car Monthly Unlimited Wash Club. For only $20 a month, wash your car as often as you want. Enjoy significant savings and never worry if it's going to rain or not. Join the Wash Club today. Quick Car, quick, easy, and professional every time.
For over 60 years, Burger's Smokehouse has offered the nation's largest selection of authentic smoked meat gifts, and we ship anywhere in the U.S. Browse our catalog online at smokehouse.com. Burger's Smokehouse, simple tradition since 1952.
We're back here on LakeTV where the Indians find themselves down 14-0, but a lot of ball left to play. This game sponsored by Chances Are Restaurant in Laurie, is a Lake area favorite, and they have been for over 25 years. Located off Highway 5, come find out why they've won Best Value at the Lake 3 years running, and chances are you'll be back.
So Monett with a scoring drive there, and it all started with that interception by Abramovitz.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play on the tip drill, and they come march down the field and 30 yards and 5 plays, and they find the end zone. Here's the kickoff by Fulton. It's another short kick fielded by Russell Williams about the 25. He's going to try to reverse his field. He cuts inside, and he's got some good yardage across the 30 before being upended right there. And that's where Osage takes over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
And he tried to make something out of nothing there on that return, but unfortunately for Osage, even after the cutback, he wasn't able to pick up too much more. The Indians will start at the 31.
With locations across central Missouri, and St. Louis Peak Sport and Spine has your therapy needs covered. Stop in and see Jessica Cheney at the Osage Beach location. Austin Riley now rolls out. Quick pass looking for Ulmer. He'll lower his head and be taken down. He has about 1 yard, but that is it. Nice tackle right there by Hall. Jordan Hall, the senior linebacker, puts his helmet right in the chest of Ulmer and takes him down before he can make anything happen upfield.
Yeah, excellent form on the tackle there by Hall. Like you said, getting the helmet down. Making a strong hit there, no chance.
And Olmer's not an easy guy to take down. He has had a huge year. He's got over 1,000 yards on the ground, over 680 yards rush or through the air, and 16 total touchdowns. He's had a good year. Now Riley keeps it on the option, and he's got about 7 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. Positive play for the Indians. Then, like I said, bring up 3rd down and short.
And Ulmer trailing him on that play, but he decided to keep the ball. Definitely the right decision there, and he was able to pick up a decent chunk of yards.
Give to Ulmer on 3rd and 2, trying to get outside. He will. He'll lower his head, get across the 41. He's right about that 1st down marker, and I think that spot's going to give it to him. That should be an Indian 1st down. Polylift boat lifts are the first choice for knowledgeable boat owners. With a stellar reputation of the best warranty in the industry, Polylift sets itself apart as the trusted solution for protecting your watercraft. Visit them online at polylift.com or stop in and see them at the Lorry and Osage Beach location. Reverse pass. Here's Samuelson now. He's going to throw it back to Ulmer, and he's got good room. Trying to set a block. That's a block in the back right there by quarterback Austin Riley. Clear as day. I'm not sure what Riley was thinking. Just shoved a guy right in the back. It was clear to everyone. That's just a really, don't know what you're thinking on that play, but that's going to push it back, and that's going to bring up 1st down and long.
And Ulmer was going to be stopped right there around midfield. It was going to be excellent field position for Osage, and then Riley comes in and tries to do a little bit too much there at the end of the play.
Yeah, it would have been an 8-yard game, but all for none after the block in the back. Quick Car in Osage Beach, where if you become part of the Unlimited Car Wash Club, you can get your car washed every day for one low monthly rate. That's Quick Car off Osage Beach Parkway, right here in Osage Beach, where they like to keep it clean. It is cold, Steve, and it will be cold all winter. Don't deal with drafts on your windows. Get specialized winter blinds that can make your home much more efficiently this winter, only at Blinds and More in Osage Beach.
Of course, you have to keep reminding us about the weather.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's kind of in the back of my mind for some reason. Nice reverse to Ulmer from Heiser. He cuts inside. Good run by Ulmer, and he's up to about the 48. We're going to give him the 49-yard line. That's an inside handoff to Heiser. In motion was Ulmer, and he's going to hand it off to Ulmer, and he has good yardage. They're going to give him about 12, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3.
And picking up almost all of the yardage lost on that penalty.
Yeah, very, very good play. Under center now is Riley. The give to Ulmer, trying to get outside. Nice job by Brad Russell to seal the edge. Ulmer lowers his head and he's across the 45 down to about the 42, maybe the 43. And like I said, number 20, Brad Russell, sealed the edge, making a great block, giving Ulmer the yardage outside, and that's a good run by Jake Ulmer.
And Ulmer seeing his number called a lot more in the 2nd quarter than in the 1st quarter.
Look for it here again, Riley under center. They're going hurry up. They're going to give it to him. He puts his foot in the ground, cuts back, and he'll be taken down at about the 40 for a gain of 3.
Monett really does not have an answer for him so far on this drive.
No, he's getting yardage in chunks. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 7. Precision Auto is your hometown automotive repair and tire shop with over 27 years experience. Precision Auto and Tire pride themselves on fast and efficient work at reasonable prices. Stop in and see them off Industrial Drive in Osage Beach. Riley now maybe going to change the play, looks to the sideline. Monett does a nice job of not jumping off sides. Riley now rolls outside, plants his foot, looking for his favorite target, Samuelson, and knocked down. Nice defensive play right there.
It's Abramovitz again.
No, that's Cameron Witt, I believe, in on the stop. Witt back there, and he makes a nice play against Samuelson, going to make a catch, but Witt says no, sir, and knocks that down.
Yeah, my mistake there. That was 27, Cameron Witt.
Yeah, making a nice play. I'll tell you what, we talk about it. Samuelson having just a huge year, almost 300 yards last week. He set the all-time career record for receiving yards for Osage Indians history. And he was featured on USA Today this week for a catch he made. He had comparisons to New England Patriot tight end Rob Gronkowski making that one-hand catch last week at Mountain Grove.
Only one catch so far for Samuelson tonight.
Ooh, nice play by Ulmer. That could have been a disastrous play. And look at Ulmer go. Cuts inside and has an Indian 1st down. I'll tell you what, folks, what a play by Jacob Ulmer. Dangerous pitch by quarterback Riley. Pulled in one-handed by Ulmer. He puts his foot in the ground, cuts back across field. It's only an 8-yard game, but he ran every bit of 25 yards.
Yeah, not how Coach Devin Johnson drew that one up.
But it'll work. It's an Indian 1st down, and here are the Indians moving. They've got it First and 10 at the 32 of Monett. In motion is Samuelson. Riley out of the shotgun. 3 wides to the left side. Lone receiver Samuelson. He's going to look that way to the left, and that is very nearly interception right in the breadbasket of number 20. That's Swearingen, and I'll tell you what, if he catches that, he's off to the races. That's a pick 6.
Yeah, Swearingen had a lead on that one, and the whole field in front of him, he would have been off to the house. And Mike Rice with Rice Concrete brings over 30 years of concrete experience to the table while setting the standard for all your concrete needs around the lake area.
Riley the pump fake. Looks over the seam. He's looking for Ulmer. And that is... Tell you what, this is an interesting call. They're going to say it got tipped, so this may not be a flag, but I'll tell you what, he came in and just laid out Ulmer going for the ball. So they're going to wave off the flag, and to the pleasure of the Monett coaches, they're happy about that.
Well, that ball was tipped back at the line of scrimmage, which means anything after that is fair game. Of course, an early hit there on the receiver, but since the ball was already tipped, no penalty for pass interference.
So 3rd down and 10 now. Indians making a little noise. Some of the fans a little bit displeased with that. Riley now rolls out, throws back across, got Robinson. He stutter steps, makes the guy miss. Witherspoon running downfield, making a block, and Witherspoon leads his way, and then Robertson all the way down to about the 14-yard line.
He went for the arm tackle there, partner, and Robertson shook him off. Went straight down the sideline. He had that first down marker in mind and a whole lot more.
17 yards and an Indian first down, a nice move. I don't think his intentions were to arm tackle, but the move that Robertson put on, that was his last opportunity. And nice job. Here's Ulmer now on the give inside. He's down to about the 11-yard line. He has 4, and the Indians are moving. Back to Mike Rice at concrete, whether it's decorative concrete, coloring and stamping, or all the way to foundations and retaining walls. Mike Rice is your guy. You can visit him at riceconcreteinc.com or call him at 374-0144. That's Rice Concrete in Laurie, Missouri. So under center now is Riley. He's going to have the option, and he is going to get waylaid, and that's Abramovitz that time coming from his cornerback position and just running over quarterback Austin Riley for a big loss, and that's going to take him back to the original line of scrimmage when that'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, the hit came in from Abramovitz before Riley could pitch the ball off to Ulmer, and Ulmer had a lot of room down there on that far sideline, and if Riley could have gotten the pitch off in time, Ulmer could have been gone.
So 3rd and 10 nonetheless. Abramovitz making plays all over the field. Riley out of the shotgun. He's going to look to his left, pump fake. Now he's looking for Heiser, and that's inside and incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 10. Your local State Farm Insurance agent, Mike Heitman, sponsoring this game. I'd like to thank Mike Heitman with State Farm Insurance. You can call him at 348-1737 or stop by and see him at the Kings Plaza off of Osage Beach Parkway. That's Mike Heitman, State Farm Insurance right here in Osage Beach. So 5:43 left, Monett up 14-0, but the Indians are within striking distance here. They've got 4th and 10 from about the 15-yard line. They're going to keep their offense on the field, and we might have an Indian timeout. I think we will. So don't go anywhere. This should be a big 4th and 10 upcoming for the Indians. You're watching high school football on Lake TV.
Hi, I'm Joni Walden. Welcome to Blinds and More. The tax credit is back. Take advantage of a federal tax credit opportunity of up to $500 and also save on your energy bill at the same time.
When you dress your windows with Hunter Douglas window fashions, you don't just change your home, you transform it. With light-enhancing designs and innovations in engineering and style, significantly reducing energy loss through windows, making your home more inviting and beautiful. Hunter Douglas Window Fashions, backed by a lifetime guarantee.
Keep your car rolling down the road.
The right tire for you depends on the roads you drive, the loads you carry, and the vehicle you own. The experts at Precision Auto and Tire will help you make the right tire choice. They stock most major brands like Michelin, Goodyear, Bridgestone, Firestone, Toyo, and more, all at the lowest possible price. Keep your car rolling and your family safe with Precision Auto and Tire, Osage Beach.
Your car rolling down the road.
We're back on Lake TV. William Holt, Steve Goldberg on top of the booth right here in beautiful Osage Beach, Missouri. Not your typical beach weather, but we'll take it nonetheless, as this is quarterfinal playoff football in the state of Missouri at the Class 3 level, where the Osage Indians find themselves down 14-0 to the Cubs from Monett. 4th and 10, and here's Riley now. Throws to the end zone, looking for Ulmer. Ulmer very nearly came up with it, and it's knocked incomplete. Making the play is number 20, Swearingen, and Ulmer almost made the play. So the Indians unable to punch in the end zone. They're going to turn it over on downs, and Monett takes over 1st and 10 from their own 15.
Yeah, it would have been a magnificent catch there by Ulmer. You have to wonder there, would Osage have been better off bringing on the field goal unit? I don't know. From about that distance, it's about a 32-yard field goal.
You don't know if you feel confident kicking that kind of field goal, only because the conditions, Steve. 32 yards at the professional level in this weather would be tough, let alone at the high school level. The ball just doesn't get the flight off the foot, you know. So now we're going to have a timeout, it looks like, by Monett. We're going to stay right here. Mike Riley Construction's your guy for new construction, remodeling, and all construction needs. You can call him at 216-4270 or email him at sriley300@charter.net.
And Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon is your source for installation of underground utilities. Owner Doug Apperson has been in the industry since the spring of 1994. You can give him a call at 392-8228. That's Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon.
And then our good friends over at AB Pest Control. They're the Lake area's most trusted pest control company. They just want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Osage Indians on a fantastic 2014 campaign. And they wanted to give a special shout out to a very special senior class. And I'll tell you what, it has been a very special senior class. You talk about from this line, the playmakers to the defensive standout guys. I mean, this senior class is one that will be remembered for years to come in this Indians program.
And monumental seasons from players on both sides of the football tonight at Osage and Monett.
So here's Abramovitz now trying to get outside. He will, and he'll be taken down across the 25 at about the 27-yard line. That's Abramovitz. That's a good run, and Russell Williams in on the stop for the Indians.
Yeah, moving those chains on the first play of the drive.
Yeah, nice job by Monett. I've been really impressed with what I've seen with their offense, this triple option. Tell you what, it's interesting, but it's really efficient. Osage having a hard time spotting the ball carrier, and they're just getting these yardage in chunks, as I touched on earlier, Steve.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that we were talking about earlier in the day before the game even started, and we were wondering how Osage would stack up defensively against the triple option.
And there's another handoff, and then still on his feet. That's a nice run right there, and Jordan Hall very nearly got free from Crosby and Ulmer. Ulmer had him by the foot, and then Crosby came in and finished him off. But if Ulmer's not able to hold on to him for dear life, Hall could have big yardage on that play.
And a lot of weapons in the backfield for Monett. Coach Dupay was talking about how there's not really one star player on their team, rather a whole unit of guys. Now, as we've been saying, it all starts with the quarterback Hammond, but he has a lot of talent around him.
Indeed he does, and there's a big give, and Abramovitz across the 50. He may go all the way to the 30, down to the 20, down to the 10, and into the house. Touchdown, Monett. They now lead by a score of 20-0, and that's a big run of 67 yards for Abramovitz. Wesley Abramovitz, the playmaker so far for Monett. The senior coming in, he's having a big season, and what a game he's had so far. He scampers 67 yards of the house, and like I said, Monett now leads by a score of 20-0, partner.
Breakaway speed on the ground right there by Abramovitz. Well, I don't know how he got those Jets going out in the cold weather, but there's no stopping him.
No doubt, he got all the way, and Indian chasing him down late, trying to get him, but to no avail, and barring an extra point miss, they're about to go up 21-0. Witt's extra point is up. Nope, that's Fulton. The kick is up, and it's good. So now leading 21-0, the Monett Cubs over the Osage Indians. We'll be right back after this on Lake TV.
For over 60 years, Burger's Smokehouse has offered the nation's largest selection of authentic smoked meat gifts, and we ship anywhere in the U.S. Browse our catalog online at smokehouse.com. Burger's Smokehouse, simple tradition since 1952.
With locations across central Missouri and St. Louis, Peak Sport and Spine has your therapy needs covered. Stop in and see Jessica Cheney at the Osage Beach location. From the field to the workplace and even into retirement, Peak Sport and Spine will get you back in the game or back to work.
0% APR means hot savings.
Right here at Rick Ball Ford.
Get spectacular Ford savings on almost every car and SUV with 0% for 72 months. 0%, 6 years.
Hot summer deal.
At family-owned Rick Ball Ford, Boonville and Sedalia.
Back here on Lake TV, I'm William Holtz, joined by Steve Goldberg, making the trip down from Columbia, Missouri to call the game tonight. Steve, we appreciate you coming down, my man.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be down here. Thank you very much for inviting me and having the opportunity to fill in on some color commentary tonight. Great high school football here at Lake of the Ozarks.
What I hope is going to be a much more competitive game. I really look for Osage to chip away at some yardage here, Steve, and try to cut into this big Monett lead. Took Monett all of the whole game last week against Reed Springs to score 21 points. We're just a quarter half into this one, and they now have 21-0 lead over Osage. That kick may fly out of bounds, and it will, luckily, for the Indians. If that bounces and stays in play, that's probably a Monett recovery, and they'll take over right there. Nonetheless, it's going to be an illegal procedure, and Osage will get it at the 35-yard line. Really nothing lost there for Monett. I'll tell you what, they might as well just kick it out of bounds every time, because if you're going to do that short kick, the only thing that you can gain from it is a turnover.
Yeah, correct. And kicking it out of bounds, Osage will be starting off at the 35-yard line. This isn't like pro football where they mark it at the 40.
Right.
So the kick went out of bounds at the 34, essentially only 1 yard gain there.
Right. Smart job right there by C.J. Myers to just stay away from the ball and let it go out of bounds, because that had disaster written all over if that stays in play. Riley now out of the shotgun. Justin Heiser, the lone set back with him. Two wide receivers, both sides of the formation. Heiser, he in one arm making the play. What a play right there. Tell you what, Alex Turner and a other guy, I don't know who was in there, but what a play right there. Tell you what, it was a direct snap to Heiser. Riley pretending the ball went over his head. You see that play at the college and professional level. But Heiser fooled no one, and a loss of one after the tackle in the backfield. So 2nd down and 11. We're inside of 4 minutes to play. Riley steps up. He's got McLaughlin. That's Britton McLaughlin across the 40 up to about the 45-yard line. And that's going to be an Indian first down, and that's good for 11 yards. And like I said, fresh set of downs, partner. Nice play.
Yeah, first catch of the game there for McLaughlin. And Monett's pass coverage has been exceptional tonight, and they've done a great job locking down Colin Samuelson, guy who's been very hard to lock down this season.
Extremely hard. Here's the give now to Heiser, and what a tackle right there by number 74 for Monett. That's Jacob Negree. A nice play. That's a loss of a couple yards. And back to what you're talking about, partner, I'll tell you what, Osage has playmakers all over the field, from Ulmer to Samuelson to McLaughlin to Heiser to Robertson, and they've done a nice job on all of them. That was essentially only their 2nd or 3rd positive pass play of the evening.
Well, Osage got Ulmer very involved in the offense on their last drive. It was their best drive of the game. The offense has been a little bit slow here in the first half, but they really got things going on the last drive.
And that is right into a defender's hands. Who is that in there? That's Abramovitz. Called his name again. That's his 2nd interception of the game. He has a long touchdown run, and it's the Abramovitz show right here. I'll tell you what, Wesley Abramovitz just having a whale of a ball game thus far. And Monett gets it back at midfield.
An early candidate for player of the game right there. Abramovitz having an incredible night.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good quarter of the season already, and what has been a quarter and a half plus of football. He's got a touchdown run of 67 yards and 2 interceptions, and then an impressive breakaway or deflection on defense. So nice game so far.
And
1st and 10 Monett, the inside give. And that's going to be taken down in the backfield. Michael Crosby leading the way. 2-yard loss and a nice play by Crosby. He's not about to give up. This is a lot of time left to be played in this ball game and a lot riding on it. Winner of this ball game is going to play the winner of Park Hills Central and John Burroughs. If John Burroughs can win that game and the Indians can come back, that would be a rematch of the 2011 semifinal matchup. But we'll worry about that when the time comes, because right now it's all Monett. 2:25 left, 21-0. Hammond looking deep, overshoots his target. And he was looking for his man downfield, Quincy Jackson. Ulmer on the coverage. So 3rd and 11 upcoming after the nice coverage by Jake Ulmer.
Yeah, man-to-man defense there for Osage, and Ulmer had him marked the whole time. It was an overthrow by Hammond, but that coverage certainly caused the overthrow.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll tell you what, if there's anything I'm going to do at the halftime break, partner, it is put some hot hands in my shoes. My feet did feel like they were hurting. Now they don't feel at all.
Yeah, mine are like cinder blocks. I don't know how Wesley Abramovitz had that speed on that touchdown run. I can't even feel my feet up here.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's freezing, but the conditions are just that for football. And and there's going to be a hold call, should be. And that one's intercepted on the play. Nice play, and that's a big interception by Brandon Pierce. We had a game earlier this year where he had 2 interceptions, taking 1 back to the house. I think we've got a hold. We do. It'll be declined, and Osage a big takeaway. They're going to get it 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line after the Pierce interception, and that is a big, big play when Osage really needed it.
Yeah, a very big play since Monett had the ball right around midfield. Another score really there before the end of the half. You would be in danger of this game becoming a blowout. Now Osage with a big play defensively, getting a turnover there, and we'll see what they can do offensively. Still 2:13 left in the first half.
2:13, 2 timeouts in Coach Johnson's back pocket, and this offense can score, and they can score quickly. Riley now into the flat to Ulmer. Ulmer cuts inside, makes the guy miss, and look at him get outside across the 40. He'll be pushed out at about the 41-yard line. Nice play for 9 yards, and I'll tell you what, you got to get the ball in your playmaker's hands, and that's exactly what Coach did right there.
And the other thing that interception does, it brings this crowd back into the game just a little bit more, too. They had been quiet and shivering, just like us, except for without the quiet part.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you get your team down 21-0 in these kind of conditions, and it's almost a little deflating. Big interception. Perhaps Osage can get on the board before half. They'd have the momentum. Riley now throws in the comeback route to McLaughlin. He cuts inside, lowers his shoulder. He's up to the 52, 48-yard line, and that's good for an Osage Indian first down. And the clock stops as they reset the chains, and I like this pace by Osage. They know what's at stake, and they're moving quickly, and that's back-to-back positive plays.
And McLaughlin very sharp running his routes, too.
Yeah,
very sharp turns there, faking one way and going the other.
That's McLaughlin. I think this one's going to come back. He has another reception across the 30-yard line, but you see 2 flags laying at midfield. This one's coming back. We saw it immediately, partner. Definitely a hold on the offensive line that allowed Riley to stream free into the flat before finding McLaughlin. And this will come back and bring up a 1st down and long. And plays like that, whether it's turnovers or just big holding calls, those are drive stallers, and those are things you can't afford to do when you're down 21-0 to a team like Monett.
No, it would have been a big completion of McLaughlin there for a 1st down and more. Now, instead, it brings up a 1st and long back around the, I think they'll mark it past the 40-yard line at the 39.
So that's a big penalty. That's going to be 2nd and 20, or 1st and 22 here. Big, big loss of yards. They're going to be a 12-yard penalty. Riley now is going to line up at receiver. Ulmer back. He's going to try to run. He puts his head down. He's across midfield, back up to that original line of scrimmage. We'll give him about 11 yards, and that's a nice run by Ulmer. I like the design. Yeah, see the quarterback go out, line up at receiver, and just snap it to your playmaker.
Yeah, first time we've seen the Wildcat in use tonight.
So Riley back in at quarterback under center. They're moving quickly. They hand it off to Ulmer. He cuts inside and takes what the defense gives him, and that's just a 2-yard gain. With about 1:08 left, of course, your score at 21-0. I like what Osage is doing here. You have 2 timeouts, a minute to play. You're not going to get 2 scores here with only a minute left, so you really don't want to score and leave Monett with so much time. Riley now rolls out, throws, and into the flat. Nice catch. I think that's caught by McLaughlin. It is. Nice job down to the 35-yard line. That's an Indian first down, and Brenton McLaughlin making another impressive play.
And great composure there by Riley, staying in the pocket and delivering a strong throw despite getting hit hard at the end of the play by Jordan Hall.
I'll tell you what, Steve, you hadn't got a lot of chance to see Austin Riley play this year, but as good as he is at standing in the pocket, he is just as good at delivering the ball out of the pocket on the move, and we'll hopefully get a chance to see him do that this year. Justin Heiser now just stripped free of yardage. I'll tell you what, he's stopped in the backfield, and Osage is going to be forced to burn their second timeout. That is just blown up in the backfield before it started. Nice tackle on the play. I believe by number 74, and that's Jacob Negree, once again making his presence felt, and that's going to bring up second down and 14.
And Coach Johnson using that timeout. Osage now has one left here with 34 seconds.
I'd like to see something over. The nice thing is about the high school level, Steve, when you get in these situations and professional, I mean, college and high school, on a first down, the moving on the chain stops the clock. So that allows you to use the middle of the field up the seam to your playmakers. And we've seen McLaughlin have some success up the seam and in the flats. I wouldn't be surprised if you see them maybe take a shot over the middle of the field right here.
Well, we talked more about Monett's hurry-up offense coming into the game tonight. Get a chance to see Osage's here with 34 seconds.
Well, they move fairly quick, typically just being a high-powered offense. They're not, you wouldn't call it a hurry-up, but it's a West Coast style of offense, the way they run it. Riley now, he's going to roll the other way and looking for Robertson over his head. A nice job by Riley just to make that be an incompletion, leave all the time on the clock and live to see another down instead of trying to make a little too much happen, as you see happen so often here at this high school level.
Yeah, that's a smart decision there. Austin Riley, the senior, understands the situation. It was a botched play from the start and just tossed the ball out of bounds.
Indeed. I'll tell you what, his younger brother, Dylan Riley, he's a sophomore. He's going to take over at quarterback next year, presumably, for these Indians. Austin Riley now steps in the pocket. There's going to be a hold on Witherspoon, looking deep, and that's going to be caught then, but to no avail down to the 5-yard line. That's Jed Robertson hauling in the deflection. It will come back as we had holding against Witherspoon way back around midfield.
Yeah, great job by Robertson staying with that one and making the catch at the end of the play, but like you said, to no avail. It's coming back, and a lot of times at the high school level and some at the collegiate level as well, when a quarterback rolling outside the pocket, see teams liable for those holding penalties. And
there is a coach that is absolutely heated, and I don't understand why, because that was clear to me as it happened, Steve. It was holding. I mean, I don't know what you're complaining about. You could say let him play, but I would tell Witherspoon let him play and don't hold on to the young man, because that's a clear holding. It'll back up Osage 3rd and 29 at their 49-yard line of Monett.
And we both saw it clear from up here, but the view down on the turf a little bit different.
3rd and 24. Riley, the same play. Same play we saw earlier, the direct snap. Heiser now in motion. And they're going to, no, Riley now has it. And you got to throw back across this field. He's got Ulmer across the 40, down to the 30. First down across the 20. Stays in bounds all the way down to the 16-yard line. And I tell you what, got to call a timeout. There's 0.1 second left on the clock. He's down inside the 20-yard line. He would have been wise to get down, just trying to fight for yardage. We have a penalty marker on the field. We'll wait for that. So much to straighten out here. But let's focus on the good play by Riley to extend the play, and then Ulmer to make the play and run for a big gain.
Yeah, helter-skelter play from the start, and you had Riley lining up on the far side of the field, getting the ball back, and then going up for the pass. I think it completely baited Monett's defense. It baited you and I as well. We thought the ball was still on the ground. Instead, it was in the hand of Austin Riley looking to pass.
Ulmer gets all the way down to the 17. They're going to tack on a face mask call, so Osage will have it at the 15-yard line.
Also, another thing that I forgot to mention, downfield blocking there by Justin Heiser at the end of the play. Was able to clear the path for for Ulmer getting down the sideline.
Getting back downfield. So Osage obviously burning that last time out with 0.1 second left. They're going to have a chance for one play here from the 15-yard line, try to get it in the end zone. And I'm not saying this play is make or break the night, but if you can't get in here, it's a little deflating to get this far down and then not come away with points. But if you can get a touchdown right here, you're going to get the ball back to start the second half. This could be a huge play right here and will be a huge play, Steve.
Yeah, one of the two biggest plays of the half coming up if you're Osage. The first one, that failed fourth down conversion from the 15-yard line. This one coming up arguably even bigger than that.
We've seen 2 interceptions by Abramovitz, Wesley Abramovitz, the senior, making 2 interceptions. We've seen a turnover on downs. Then, of course, Brandon Pierce gets an interception for Osage. We'll see if the Indians can't punch it in here. Be huge if they could, Steve. And I speak for everyone on top of this press box. It is getting colder as the sentence gets longer.
Yeah, it was not this cold at kickoff, was it?
No, absolutely not.
It has to be about 20 degrees right now.
Jack Frost doing his best to aggravate us. It is very cold. Fighting the elements, Lake TV's Emily Ruffy on camera, Ricky Smith on the field camera, Andrew Evans, our executive producer, in the truck with a little bit of warm. I'm William Holtz, joined by Steve Goldberg, and this is the play of the half. 1.5 seconds left. Rolling to his right side, Riley throws to the end zone, looking for Ulmer, and knocked away. Ulmer trying to convince the official he caught it, but it hits the turf, so that's going to conclude our first half of play. You're watching Lake TV's exclusive coverage of Osage Indian football.
Rice Concrete Incorporated strives to provide the best service in concrete construction at the Lake of the Ozarks. Rice Concrete Construction Company is a full-line decorative concrete company specializing in decorative concrete, coloring and stamping, texturing, patios, sidewalks, basements, steps, foundations, and retaining walls. Have your new project stand out from all of your neighbors. Not to mention it will add to your property value. Rice Concrete Incorporated. We arrive as a business and leave as a friend.
Now, Lake TV brings you state quarterfinal playoffs between the Osage Indians and the Monett Cubs. Brought to you by Peak Sport and Spine in Osage Beach and Camdenton, Rice Concrete in Laurie, Mike Heitman State Farm Insurance in Osage Beach, Burger's Smokehouse in California, Quick Car in Osage Beach, Chances Are Restaurant in Laurie, Mike Riley Construction in Osage Beach, Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Laurie, Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia, AB Pest Control in Osage Beach, Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon, Blinds and More in Osage Beach, and Precision Auto in Osage Beach. With locations across central Missouri and St. Louis, Peak Sport and Spine has your therapy needs covered. Stop in and see Jessica Cheney at the Osage Beach location. From the field to the workplace and even into retirement, Peak Sport and Spine will get you back in the game or back to work. This is the Peak Sport and Spine halftime recap with William and Steve.
Back here on Lake TV, this is your Peak Sport and Spine halftime recap show. William Holtz, Steve Goldberg, and really a surprising first half as far as we're concerned.
Well, it got off to a bit of a slow start early on in the first few minutes of the first quarter, and it looked like it might be shaping up to be like one of those Monett games from last week, the one that was scoreless at halftime. But all of a sudden, a big block punt for the Cubs, and they cashed in. A couple of plays later, Zach Hammond found Levi Fitzner in the end zone for a big 55-yard touchdown pass, and after that, Monett really kicked it into gear.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a play. It was a misdirection play. Kind of had Osage's defense and all kinds of out of sort. I'll tell you what, he found Fitzner wide open down the field. He was able to catch that one and then just dance into the end zone for a 55-yard score, or a 45-yard score. That was a nice play, kind of set the tone, and from there, it was all Monett for the rest of the half, and Osage had their opportunities. They knocked on the doorstep a couple of times, and they just weren't able to cash in.
Yeah, Osage finally got things together offensively late in the second quarter. They had a couple of drives inside the Monett 30-yard line. They even got down to around the 15-yard line, but they just couldn't couldn't cash it in for the score. And, you know, like we said, a couple of big plays. There was a big 4th down and 11. Then there was the big play before we went off into halftime. Osage just couldn't put any points up on the board, and they trailed 21-0.
Tell you what, that Witt kid in the secondary for Monett's made some plays, knocking some balls free, because that last play that Riley was looking for Ulmer, that was a ball that Ulmer had a shot at, but if it wasn't for Witt's great defensive play right there, he may pull that in, and it was just a last-second heads-up play by Witt to knock it down, and so your score is 21-0. Stories of the first half, special teams kind of playing a role in this game. You talked about the block punt. It was just a couple plays later that Monett found the end zone. And then field position has definitely favored the Cubs thus far.
Yeah, that's been huge. A couple of great punts for Monett, pinning Osage back deep. And I feel like special teams is going to continue to have an impact on the game as we progress with the second half.
Yeah, it's interesting. Monett going to that short kick every time they kick off. We've seen it 4 times already, all 3 of their scores, and then they kicked off to start the game. They've just been doing that short little pooch kick that Brad Russell's fielded a couple times about the 30-yard line. It's went out of bounds once. They've gotten it at 35, but really limiting the playmakers of Osage on the special team side, not allowing them to let their presence known on the special teams and just backing Osage up deep in their own end. And at this point in time, the defense of the Cubs is really controlling the game because Osage just isn't getting anything going except for a couple drives late in the half like you touched on, Steve.
Right, and Osage is starting off most of the time somewhere between their own 20 and their own 35-yard line. You flip things around, and Monett has had some great field position on a couple of their drives to start off. It's been a field position battle in the first half, and Monett is winning it so far.
Yeah, Coach Dupe doing everything he can. Of course, that 55-yard touchdown pass from Zach Hammond to Fitzner, and then later in the half, you had that 3-yard touchdown run to Jerome Beason. He took it, and he just rumbles into the end zone from 3 yards out. Looked to be stopped shy in the backfield, but then just keeps those legs churning, able to keep his momentum going, and he finds himself in the end zone. Extra point good by Fulton. They're up 14-0. But then a playmaker that you really liked, you talked to me, not on the air, but you talked to me before the game, about Abramovich. You really liked him, and he made his presence felt.
Yeah, Abramovich with a big 33-yard touchdown run for the 3rd score of the half for Monett, showing some breakaway speed on that run as well. He's got those legs.
Yeah, he got outside, and it looked like maybe the defenders of Osage were going to be able to corral him, stop him, maybe just with a modest gain. The first down yardage was had. But once he got to that edge, he was off to the races, and there he went. And from 33 yards out, he scores. And then it's the defense of Rolla, but the Cubs of Monett able to make a stop and hold Osage scoreless in the first half. And just like last week, they pitched a shutout in the first half and against a superior Osage team. Not saying they didn't play a tough Reed Springs team a week ago, but that's not the same team they're playing tonight, and they've blanked Osage in the first half as well.
And we talked about earlier in the broadcast on our pregame show and early on in the first half, the spotlight player of the game for Osage, Colin Samuelson. He has been held pretty quiet in the first half so far tonight, just 1 catch.
Yeah, if he has 1 grab the game, it was a short grab, and I mean, they're just not able to get anything going. Hammond is doing an excellent job. He's playing man-on-man. They got press coverage of the secondary, another guy coming over, they're giving double coverage, but really Hammond is just having his way with Samuelson. He's unable to get any separation, not getting to the second level, and if he does, Austin Riley hasn't had the time to extend the play and find him down the field, and so they're doing an excellent job taking Samuelson out of the game plan of Osage, and it's really played into the ball game because they find themselves down 21-0 due to the Indians.
Now on the flip side, though, what I really like to see from Osage is to keep Jake Ulmer involved in the offense. They started giving him the ball some more carries in the second quarter, and that was working very well for them. So if they can keep on going to Ulmer in the 3rd and the 4th quarter, they might be able to rally back and come back in this game.
Yeah, well, I want everyone to remember, now Osage is down 21-0, but this is a team that was down huge a week ago. When I say huge, I mean 14 points with under 5 minutes to go at the high school level. Ball game over, not the case. They're able to get a special teams play, rack off 14 quick points, send it to overtime, and get that win. So everyone knows watching this ball game, and if you don't know, this is an Osage team that can score in bunches, so don't count this team out,
never
partner.
count out the Indians. Roll Tribe, they say.
They say roll Tribe, roll in Osage, and for good reason, because this team full of playmakers, and we look for them to creep back into this ball game here in this second half.
Oh, yeah, when they get on a roll, they get on a roll.
Absolutely. So We're glad you're tuning in. This has been your Peak Sport and Spine halftime recap show. We appreciate you tuning in, folks. Don't go anywhere. We've got the second half of the quarterfinal Class 3 playoffs right here on LakeTV after this. Of course, William Holtz, joined by Steve Goldberg. We'll see you back at the field after this.
Now, LakeTV brings you state quarterfinal playoffs between the Osage Indians and the Monett Cubs. Brought to you by Peak Sport and Spine in Osage Beach and Camdenton, Rice Concrete in Laurie, Mike Heitman State Farm Insurance in Osage Beach, Burger's Smokehouse in California, Quick Car in Osage Beach, Chances Are Restaurant in Laurie, Mike Riley Construction in Osage Beach, Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Laurie, Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia, AB Pest Control in Osage Beach, Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon, Blinds and More in Osage Beach, and Precision Auto in Osage Beach.
LakeTV, where we're about to get our second half underway. Indians will kick deep to Monett. Your score 21-0 at half. This second half brought to you by Burger's Smokehouse, serving the country this world's best bacon since 1952. That's Burger's Smokehouse. Squibb fielded right there in nice hands by number 46. Nice play. I think that's who is that?
Yeah, that was Beeson, Randy Beeson.
Yeah, Beeson. He had a touchdown earlier in the ball game, and that time he has a nice set of hands. Tell you what, this cold, that is a nice catch.
A great starting field position for Monett on their first drive here in the second half. It's been all Cubs in the first half.
21-0. Osage knocked on the doorstep a couple times, but could not get it done, including a nice defensive stand on that last play by Monett to prevent Osage from getting in the end zone. And they're going to start this drive first and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Hammond under center. Inside give, and that's Abramovitz. He holds on to the ball tightly, very wisely. And that ball may have came out late on the play. And they're going to keep the ball, does Monett, but dangerous on their first offense play, very nearly a fumble. You saw the Osage defenders reaching in there trying to make something happen.
And a lot of times in a pile there, you're trying to break a couple of tackles. Number one rule as a running back, though, hang on to the football.
Especially with a 21-0 lead, the only way to find yourself an early exit or a lot of sideline time is putting that ball on the turf. Although I'm not sure Abramovitz could do anything to earn himself a spot on the sideline after the first half he had. 2nd and 5. Looked like a weird play. It's a good handoff and given right there to the up back. And wow, what a run. I didn't know how quarterback got that to Hall. He did, and Hall's across the 45 down to about the 43-yard line.
And Hall took half the Osage defenders on his back with him for a ride there, powering forward for extra yards.
Yeah, that's good for 16 yards and up to the 44-yard line. Just like that, Monett into Osage territory as we get this second half started. So under center now is Hammond. And offsides is Brad Russell. So Brick Ball Lincoln in Sedalia. They're proud to be the area's premier dealer for new and used vehicles. That's Rick Ball Ford Lincoln. And when another dealer tells you nobody can beat their deal, all you got to do is visit Mr. Nobody, Rick Ball. You can visit him online at rickballfordsedalia.com. And with locations across Central Missouri and St. Louis, Peak Sport and Spine has your therapy needs covered. Stop in and see Jessica Chaney at the Osage Beach location. From the field to the workplace and even into retirement, Peak Sport and Spine will get you back in the game or back to work at sportspine.com. So here's the inside give. No, kept by quarterback Hammond. He's going to be flushed outside and then gets decent yardage. Really should have been a loss of yards on the play, but he's able to get past the original line of scrimmage all the way up to about the 43-yard line. He gets 1 yard out of a busted play.
Yeah, but the Monett coaching staff next to us begging for Hammond to hand the ball off in that situation. A risky decision there by the quarterback for Monett.
No doubt brings up a 2nd down and about 5. This play brought to you by Chances Are Restaurant in Laurie. They're a Lake area favorite, have been for over 25 years. Located off Highway 5, come find out why they've won Best Value at the Lake 3 years running, and chances are you will be back. Here's the give now, and that is for 36. He's got outside. That's good yardage across the 30. He'll remain on his feet and all the way to the house. That's Quincy Jackson from 38 yards out, and that's a big touchdown. Now they lead 27-0, does Monett. and they are running away with this one early in the second half.
Well, Jackson broke a tackle right there around the 25-yard line and then went all the way home for the score. 4th touchdown of the game for Monett.
And they now lead 27-0, and this one getting out of hand, folks. Monett coming in and beating a very, very talented Osage team and beating them handily. Poly-Lift boat lifts are a first choice for knowledgeable boat owners. With a stellar reputation and the best warranty in the industry, Poly-Lift sets itself apart as the trusted solution for protecting your watercraft. Visit them online at polylift.com or stop and see them at their Laurier Osage Beach locations. And Fulton adds the extra point, and just like that, Monett with their first possession marches down the field, and they cap it with a long touchdown run by Quincy Jackson. They now lead 28-0. We'll be back after this. You're watching Osage Indian football on Lake TV.
Nobody but nobody
earns your business like Rick Ball Ford.
Low overhead
Means everyday low prices, big trade-ins,
and satisfied customers.
Take a little drive this weekend
and save some big bucks. That's the Rick Ball way to buy. Boonville and Sedalia.
When you're at the Lake of the Ozarks, I invite you to visit Burger's Smokehouse. Learn about Burger's Smokehouse history in the Visitor Center. Try a sample of our delicious smoked meat in our deli. Browse the Factory Country store for our handcrafted bacon, authentic St. Louis ribs, and of course our famous country ham. Take Highway 87 north at Eldon and follow the road signs to Burger's Smokehouse. Or you can find our products in grocery stores throughout the lake area. Burger's Smokehouse, a Lake of the Ozarks tradition since 1952.
Keep your car rolling down the road.
The right tire for you depends on the roads you drive, the loads you carry, and the vehicle you own. The experts at Precision Auto and Tire will help you make the right tire choice. They stock most major brands like Michelin, Goodyear, Bridgestone, Firestone, Toyo, and more, all at the lowest possible price. Keep your car rolling and your family safe with Precision Auto and Tire, Osage Beach.
Keep your car rolling down the road.
Back here on Lake TV, and it's all Monett, ladies and gentlemen. The Cubs having their way with the 10-2 Osage Indians. Luckily for the Indians, we still got almost 2 quarters to play. We'll see if they can't get anything going. Quick Car in Osage Beach, where if you become part of the Unlimited Car Wash Club, Steve, you could get your car washed every day for one low monthly rate. That's Quick Car off of Osage Beach Parkway in Osage Beach, where they like to keep it clean. So in case you want to get your car washed every day, the Unlimited Car Wash is right around, I think, $20 a month. So what a deal that is. So now to kick it deep is Fulton. Probably going to see a short kick, a little in, and that's very short. And that is on the ground, and I think Osage is fortunate to come up with it. Tell you what, the upmen for Osage have to be aware. They've done that all night long, has Monett. And it looks like Monett has it. They've got the ball. And that's just a special teams miscue by Coach Dotson's squad. You saw guys looking around like, I didn't want the ball. He's like, I'm not going to try to catch it. And Monett, you see, they're faithful. They travel well in this cold weather. And what a nice play on special teams. And that ball was located in a perfect position, virtually no man's land, and they're going to get the ball back.
Yeah, and you have to understand that on special teams. Like you said, we've been seeing that short pooch kick all night. That one almost looked like more of a designed onside kick.
Yeah, pretty kick, good location. And Monett takes over 1st and 10 at the Osage 35. Hammond now, the inside give, and that's Ash, and he's going to have about 4 yards up to about the 31-yard line. And Burr is cold, and it's going to be a cold winter all winter long. You don't have to deal with the drafts around your winters either. All you got to do is get specialized winter blinds that can make your home much more efficient. Only at Blinds & More in Osage Beach. That's Blinds & More. And I'll tell you what, they should have put blinds all around us up here. I don't mean to complain, but I am going to complain.
No heating up here.
No heating up here. We're going to see if we can't get the Indians athletic staff to put a booth. And here's quarterback Hammond trying to get outside. He does. He's around the edge, and goodbye. 31-yard touchdown. Zach Hammond on the quarterback keeper on the option. He goes 31 yards of the house, and he shows some shifty quickness, and Monett just running away with it. They now lead 34-0.
About as quick as you can ask for if you were Monett. 3 minutes into the quarter, they already have 2 more touchdowns up there on the board.
Yeah, and it was just a great run, but it goes back to that special teams play. Osage doesn't find a way to cover the ball, and it takes them just a couple of plays, and they're in the end zone again, and this is a reoccurring theme. We've seen a lot of George Fulton coming onto the field to attempt the point after attempt, and he's going to once again. He's had no problems. He's 4 for 4 on the night thus far, and he's going to look to go a perfect 5 for 5 on the night. Kick is up, and it is good. And they now lead by a score of 35-0 to the Monett Cubs. And this is kind of a shell-shocked Osage crowd. We're going to stay right here. Really quite a different outcome than I was expecting. I was expecting a back-and-forth game. It was low-scoring even or early, You saw 2 3-and-outs by Osage, 1 3-and-out by Monett. It looked like this could be a defensive battle. And then here come these Monett come surging, and they surge quick.
And for Osage, at the end of the first half, they had an opportunity to make this game a very reasonable 21-7 going into the locker room. They failed to convert from inside the 10-yard line, and Monett gets the ball back, scores on their first drive. Then you have the onside kick blunder there. Monett gets the ball right back, and wasting no time, putting up another touchdown on the board. All of a sudden, take a look at the scoreboard. It's 35-0.
Yeah, and you see Coach Devin Johnson now. His team is down 35-0, but he tells his up guys, get up there. They were going to line up at about the 25-yard line, and you're going to see Fulton. He's probably going to do that short kick again. He's had great success thus far, so why not? And this one, a squib. It's going to bounce and be picked up inside the 30. And good yards. I think that's Justin Heiser on the far sideline, and he gets pushed out shy of the 40, out about the 37, where Osage will start. And this drive brought to you by Precision Auto, your hometown automotive repair and tire shop with over 27 years of experience. Precision Auto and Tire pride themselves on fast and efficient work at reasonable prices. Stop in and see them off Industrial Drive in Osage Beach. So this is what these Monett fans like to call the Purple Haze. Back to the 2012 year when Coach Dupay took them all the way to the state semifinals before losing in that game. What a year that was. They went 10-4 that season. It was an excellent year. Fall short of the state title game, but they look very impressive, and they're probably going to play either a Central Park Hills team or John Burroughs next week in the state semifinals. And if I were one of those teams, I would be a little alarmed after seeing this score. Here's the give to Ulmer, and he will be taken down yard behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. That's a great hit in there on Ulmer, and they've really found a way to contain Ulmer since that successful series he had earlier on the ground.
Yeah, Ulmer had that one big drive in the second quarter, but other than that, they've done a great job of containing him. They've also done a great job of containing Colin Samuelson as well. We haven't called his name since the first quarter.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he is catchless. And
no,
here's Austin Riley going to step up looking for Britton McLaughlin. He has a little separation, and he hauls it in inside the 25 down to about the 24-yard line, and that is a big play. Nice job by Riley to extend the play, and he puts a good throw, and McLaughlin able to come back and make a play on it.
And it's been McLaughlin making a lot of big plays because they've been double-teaming Samuelson all game long. And McLaughlin with the time to shine there, going up and making a huge catch.
Yeah.
Osage just trying to get on the board at this point and muster some life here.
Yeah, great point, partner. You obviously, Samuelson getting a little extra attention with his emergence the last 4 or 5 games, putting up Madden-like numbers, and Ulmer brings it in, cuts back across, and he's going to bulldoze his way inside the 10-yard line. Look at him go, and that's a gain of about 16 yards down to the 8-yard line, where Osage will have 1st and 10. Or 1st and goal from about the 8 now. Back to your point, partner, when you put that much attention on a guy like Colin Samuelson, it's going to allow your other wideout, who is Britton McLaughlin, to make some plays, and McLaughlin's done just that so over the course of this ballgame.
McLaughlin and Ulmer as well. Ulmer used to be a tight end, transitioned into a running back, but he can do both, running and catching.
Riley puts his head down on the quarterback keeper, takes it to about the 6-yard line before Hall upends him and takes him down right there. Jordan Hall, the tailback, showing he can also play a little defense, and that's going to bring up 2nd and goal from the 6.
Osage just trying to punch it in and score. Get on the board here in the game. They had a big comeback last week against Mountain Grove. This one would be even bigger.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a very, very talented Indian group that if a team's going to come back from this kind of deficit, it would be this team. And here's Heiser in the flat on the little short screen. He's up and over. I think he's into the end zone, and he is. That's Justin Heiser on the little bubble screen. He takes it from 6 yards out, and the Indians are on the board. Score is 35-6, giving this crowd a little bit of life. And I don't think it's early enough to say don't look now, but the Indians do find themselves on the scoreboard at the 5:46 mark of the third quarter.
Heiser had his eyes locked in there on that pylon, doing an excellent job extending the football out. He's able to scrape the pylon on the way by. That's good for 6.
So Ulmer now to attempt the point after. It's up and it is good. So your score 35-7. That scoring play brought to you by our lead sponsor, Mike Rice with Rice Concrete, who brings over 30 years of concrete experience to the table while also setting the standard for all your concrete needs around the lake area. Whether it's decorative concrete, coloring and stamping, all the way to foundations and retaining walls, Mike Rice with Rice Concrete is your guy. You can visit him online at riceconcreteinc.com or just shoot him or his wife Berta a call. Their cell or their phone number at Rice Concrete is 374-0144. That's Rice Concrete in Laurie, Missouri. So we're going to cut to commercial break. You're watching exclusive coverage of Osage Indians football on Lake TV.
Hi, I'm Joni Walden. Welcome to Blinds and More. The tax credit is back. Take advantage of a federal tax credit opportunity of up to $500 and also save on your energy bill at the same time.
When you dress your windows with Hunter Douglas window fashions, you don't just change your home, you transform it. With light-enhancing designs and innovations in engineering and style, significantly reducing energy loss through windows, making your home more inviting and beautiful. Hunter Douglas Window Fashions, backed by a lifetime guarantee.
Your vehicle, it's part of who you are. It's your partner in weekday traffic and your passport to weekend fun. It's your sometimes office and your all-the-time concert hall. For all your vehicle is to you, isn't it time you did something for it too? Introducing the Quick Car Monthly Unlimited Wash Club. For only $20 a month, wash your car as often as you want. Enjoy significant savings and never worry if it's going to rain or not. Join the Wash Club today. Quick Car, quick, easy, and professional every time.
0% APR means hot savings.
Right here at Rick Ball Ford.
Get spectacular Ford savings on almost every car and SUV with 0% for 72 months. 0%, 6 years.
Hot summer deal.
At family-owned Rick Ball Ford, Boonville and Sedalia.
We're back here on Lake TV where the Indians strike. Finally, it takes them 2.5 quarters to break the shutout, but they do on a 6-yard screen to Justin Heiser, who fights for the end zone, and maybe down 4 scores at this point in time. I wouldn't say you're forced to kick an onside, but you might see a similar kick to what Monett has been going to all night, Steve.
Yeah, we've seen pooches on both sides of the football for Osage and Monett. You could see another pooch kick coming up here as well. I wouldn't be surprised.
Jason Edwards into a kick right here for Osage, and now it's going to be Ulmer, and that's going to take a bounce, and then it's on the turf, and Osage has it, I believe. It's inside. Let's see who's got it, and the Indians do. At about the 47-yard line of Monett, and that's the way you get back in the ballgame, partner, is a little taste of your own medicine, Monett. A short kick, it was a trick play. You had Edwards go like he was going to kick, pull back, and then Ulmer, a beautiful onside. That thing skid across the turf, bounced off a handful of Monett players before taking a ricochet, and falling on it is an Osage player, and that is a really nice executed play.
And some butterfingers right there for the Cubs. It grazed off of a couple of their fingers, but no Monett player was able to secure the football. That was a live ball on the ground, and pile of Indians heading right towards it.
Yeah, and a tough ball to handle, skidding across the turf in these conditions. Obviously, you have no idea which short hop it's going to take and when it's going to take it. And with these conditions, that just adds insult to injury, and the Indians will take it. Riley now rolls out of the pocket, steps up now. He's going to be under duress, shakes a couple guys and not able to shake off Hall. And also in on the sack with Jordan Hall is Jacob Negree. He does a nice job getting in there, and that's going to go for a 4-yard loss and bring up about a 2nd down and 13 or so.
A huge play right there by the Monett defense. Silence in the crowd momentarily. These fans here in Osage Beach starting to get back to life.
Yeah, well, as they should have scored an onside recovery. Like you said, that quiets them a little bit on the sack. Here's Riley now. Rolling, he's going to be looking for Ulmer in the air, and Ulmer very nearly pulled it in. Nice job by number 27, Witt. We called this name earlier on a breakup, and that's his 2nd breakup of the night.
And Witt stayed with it. Ulmer was almost able to haul that one in, but at the very last second, Witt got a hand in there and knocked the ball away.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 13 with 5 minutes left in this third quarter of play. This play brought to you by your local State Farm insurance agent, Mike Heitman. Call him at 348-1737 or just stop by and see him at the Kings Plaza off Osage Beach Parkway. That's State Farm insurance agent, Mike Heitman. So 3rd and 13, obviously I think we're going to go through the air here if you're the Indians. 3rd and long, it's Riley out of the shotgun. He drops back looking over the middle. He's got Heiser, does a little stutter step, cuts inside down to about the 32-yard line, and that's going to be good for about 17 yards and an Indian first down.
I've really been impressed with Heiser getting involved now in the second half. In the first half, we saw a lot more of Ulmer. Now we're seeing Heiser coming out of the backfield there to make a nice over-the-shoulder grab and run for some more after getting the first down.
Yeah, nice job being aware of the sticks. He gets the stutter step a couple yards shy, gets the first down yardage, and a really nice ball delivered right over the shoulder by quarterback Austin Riley. 1st and 10 from the 32. Riley being flushed out of the pocket. Nice block by Witherspoon. Now looking for his man. That's McLaughlin in the end zone and unable to pull it in. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from about the 32-yard line. This next play brought to you by Mike Riley Construction. He's your guy for new construction, remodeling, and all construction needs. Just call him at 216-4270. You can even email him at sriley300@charter.net.
And on that last play, going back to it, McLaughlin able to create space between himself and the defender. The ball just slipped right through his hands. Tough to catch the football tonight. Got a feel for these wide receivers.
Cold conditions. I don't want to be out there trying to catch bullets from Austin Riley, and McLaughlin unable to haul it in. So 2nd down and 10 now. He's going to be looking for Ulmer over the seam. Ulmer reaches up one hand and unable to emulate his buddy Colin Samuelson across the middle of the field, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10.
And Ulmer was trying to haul in that last pass, but fortunately for him, he was able to at least get a piece of it and deflect it. If not, that would have been heading into the hands of the defender right behind him.
Indeed, my friend, indeed.
3rd down coming up here for Osage, and this next play sponsored by Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon. They're your source for installation of underground utilities. Owner Doug Apperson has been in the industry since spring of 1994.
Stepping up now is Riley. He has to reverse his field throw across his body, and that's going to fall short and bring up a 4th down and 10.
And of course, you can give Doug Apperson a call at 392-8228. That's Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon.
So 4th down and 10 with 4:16 remaining in the third quarter. And our friends over at AB Pest Control would like to thank and congratulate the Osage Indians for what's been a very exciting and entertaining year of football. Not over yet. Still a quarter and a half to play, and possibly another game next week if they can pull back the comeback. And AB Pest Control like to give a special shout out to a very, very special senior class. That's a reverse from Heiser to Ulmer. Cuts it up sub. Ulmer fighting for yardage. He's got his head down, and I believe he's got the first down. Yes, down to the 20-yard line. And I think you got to stop the forward progress and give Ulmer the first down, because his forward progress was well stopped, and guys just waylaying at him. So that's going to be an Indian first down at about the 21-yard line. So a nice creative play on the reverse inside give to Heiser. Back to Ulmer. We've seen that a couple times, and that's an Indian first down.
And a little counter play right there. Ulmer took off and exploded right up the middle.
Yeah, and as I said, they should have stopped his forward progress. You heard the Monett coaches saying, well, there's no whistle. It's a great point, but there should have been a whistle. You're going to get someone hurt if you don't blow the whistle when the play's been stopped that long. Ulmer now trying to get outside, and nice job right there by number 36. We've called his name all night, Quincy Jackson. That's just a matter of Ulmer getting a little greedy. If he cuts upfield, he has 7-8 yards. He tries to bounce it outside. He smelled the end zone because there was some daylight, but Jackson closes that hole real quick, and that's only a 2-yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, tempting there as a running back. Of course, you want to fight for the extra yards.
Looking for McLaughlin in the end zone once again, and just knocked away by Tyler Ash. And I'll tell you what, the officials throw a flag. You hear the Monett.
Cameron Witt got his hand on it, but flag came in at the last second.
That was a great play by Witt, and they're going to call it for interference. Obviously, if you probably hear the Monett coaches, they don't like that call. And it's not a spot foul being at the high school level. It's 15 yards, and the Indians are going to get it 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. So Indians taking a shot into the end zone, and they will be the beneficiaries of a pass interference call on Witt. And I have to agree with the Monett coaches. I thought that was just great timing and a nice defensive play. What'd you think, Steve?
Yeah, look clean from up here. Witt got that hand in, and McLaughlin tripped and fell at the same time. Maybe a bit of a deceptive view there for the referee.
Well, that or us. One of the two did not have a very good view for it because we had the same view the Monett coaches, so maybe the referee had a better view. Of course, they are the paid professionals, but I always feel like I have a good view on the play. Of course, I think that's natural with us TV guys. We feel like we always know what's going on. So 1st and goal from the 9. Into the flat, there's Ulmer. Cuts back, trying to make something happen. He may go. He's going to go all the way to the house. Jake Ulmer reverses his field and into the end zone. What an athletic play by Jake Ulmer, and that's a great play. He's going to find himself in the end zone, and now the Indians cut it to a 22-point game, and they're an extra point away from making this a very, very interesting ball game, Steve.
That last play almost reminding me of Russell Hansborough in that Mizzou football game earlier this season against South Carolina. Ulmer completely reversing field, shifting all the way from the near sideline to the far sideline. Nothing but daylight in front of him.
Yeah, once he got out there, I thought he'd score. He did. The extra point is up, and it's good. So the Indians scoring back-to-back touchdowns. They trail Monett by a score of 35-14. You're watching Indian football on Lake TV.
Rice Concrete Incorporated strives to provide the best service in concrete construction at the Lake of the Ozarks. Rice Concrete Construction Company is a full-line decorative concrete company specializing in decorative concrete, coloring and stamping, texturing, patios, sidewalks, basements, steps, foundations, and retaining walls. Have your new project stand out from all of your neighbors. Not to mention it will add to your property value. Rice Concrete Incorporated. We arrive as a business and leave as a friend.
With locations across central Missouri and St. Louis, Peak Sport and Spine has your therapy needs covered. Stop in and see Jessica Cheney at the Osage Beach location. From the field to the workplace and even into retirement, Peak Sport and Spine will get you back in the game or back to work.
Welcome to Lake of the Ozarks. You're watching Lake TV, your visitor information station, on Charter Cable Channel 197 and Como Connect Channel 90. Or from anywhere at mylaketv.com. Stay tuned to Lake TV to get all the latest on activities and attractions, events, entertainment, boating, outdoors, shopping, lake history, and dining at Lake of the Ozarks.
Back here on Lake TV, William Holtz, Steve Goldberg, and the Indians back-to-back touchdowns now, cutting it to a 21-point ball game, Steve. Nice job by the Indians. Ulmer with a touchdown.
Well, we were on the brink of seeing a blowout. Monett went up 35-0. They scored twice in the first 3 minutes of the second half. It looked like they might be close to putting this game away. And Osage says not so fast. This crowd still making some noise down here on Osage Beach, trying to rally their home team back, making this a closer game. It's now 35-14.
And Austin Riley with a couple of touchdown passes. His first one to Justin Heiser. The onside kick successful. Osage takes advantage on a great 4th and 10 reverse call. Goes to Ulmer, and we're set for the kickoff now. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Osage try something again. They are only trailing 3 scores now, but their defense has not shown they can stop this Monett offense, and that's my concern at this point in time. And that takes that ball is still loose. I think Monett was fortunate. They did end up corralling it, and they're going to take over 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Yeah, Monett moved everyone up, Steve, there. They were expecting something very similar. You saw Edwards to kick again, thinking maybe he would draw back and Ulmer would try an onside again. So they just booted deep and backed up deep in their own territory. For their average starting field position tonight is Monett. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 28.
Good kickoff right there, and it came to rest right around the 27-yard line where Monett was finally able to fall on the football. But a bit of a difficulty there, and it almost resulted in Osage coming up with another onside kick.
And boy, it would have been great field position for the Indians had they been able to come up with that football. So 1st and 10 now for Monett. We'll see if the Indians defense can't step it up a notch. Here's the inside give. No, actually the quarterback keeps it. Ball's on the ground. Wow. Tell you what, Zach Hammond has been very reluctant to hand the ball off on that option tonight. And it was very nearly a turnover. They're going to get 4 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and 6. But I'll tell you what, the Monett coaches are up here to our left. They are not too pleased with their quarterback's decision-making to keep that ball, Steve.
Yeah, there have been a couple of times where you and I have pointed it out that he would have been better off just handing the ball up the middle. It's not the flashiest play, but it gets the yardage that Monett needs.
So 2nd and 7. Big 2nd down here. Here's the handoff outside to Hall. He's trying to swing outside, but Ulmer holds on for dear life. And with the help of Crosby and Williams, he'll take him down after a gain of 3 up to the 34-yard line. And that's going to bring up a very, very crucial 3rd down and 4.
Team effort right there on the tackle. Ulmer was in there first, but the whole team surrounding him and wrapping up the back. No chance for extra yardage there, and it's 3rd and 5.
Burger Smokehouse has been serving this nation's best bacon and other smoked meat since 1952. They ship nationwide and also offer desserts and unique gift packs. Just visit them online at smokehouse.com. That's Burger Smokehouse. Simple tradition since 1952. 3rd and 4, the inside give. No, outside. That's quarterback Hammond. He wrestles it forward, and he'll be taken down at about the 36-yard line. He's going to be a yard shy of the 1st down, and now it's decision time. You're in your own end, 3-score lead. I say you punt the ball here, Steve.
I think you have to punt. There's no question about it. Be a little bit more enticing if you were in Osage territory, but back here on the 36-yard line, going for it on 4th down would be a little bit too risky here.
Well, I just haven't seen Osage able to keep this Cub offensive attack from at least getting 2 or 3 yards every play. It seems like a 2 or 3 yard gain is a successful play, and they're sending their offense back out on the field just as I thought they might.
4th and 1, big play coming up here.
They're just going to try to draw him offside, Steve. You see quarterback Zach Hammond, and here you see the Osage Indians sideline. And it's going to be a timeout by Monett. Great discipline by the Indian defense, not jumping off sides. And now I think they'll send the punt unit onto the field.
Yeah, but I like the thought process there from Coach Dupay in this situation. Send the offense out. Maybe you get somebody on the defensive line getting a little bit too jumpy in this situation. It's a big game tonight. State quarterfinals, a lot on the line. Osage trying to come back. 35-14, and it looks like Monett will be punting the ball away, and Osage will have another opportunity to score again.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Osage really, really doing a nice job the last couple of weeks, playing best late. You know, that 2 touchdown deficit late in the game last week, able to come back and tie it, send it into overtime. And like you mentioned a little bit ago, we're not trying to get ahead of ourselves, but you can almost see the momentum of this game quickly shifting towards the Indians.
Yeah, absolutely. Crowd's getting into it. Jump around's playing. Fans are all on their feet right now, and why shouldn't they be? Osage getting the ball back here. They're down by 21, but they've scored on their last 2 drives. 14 unanswered for the home team.
So Cameron Witt in to punt for the Cubs. Jake Ulmer back to receive. And there's the kick. Witt, a great punt. Ulmer back, receives it at his 25. Tries to get outside, and he'll be taken down. Excellent coverage on the play, and that's number 14, Fitzner. He's had a ball game, touchdown already, and then a great team on special teams.
Special teams have been huge tonight for Monett, recovering the onside kick, blocking the punt, and now a nice punt there. We've seen a couple of nice punts tonight.
Yeah, they've controlled the field position game all day as well, and that plays right into with special teams, Steve.
Osage has moved the ball well so far here in the second half, but they have a long field in front of them, 75 yards away from the end zone.
Heiser in motion, doesn't take the handoff. Riley keeps it, and he'll be taken down for the quarterback sack. That's a nice play. Number 43, Branch in on the stop. That's going to bring up 2nd down and about 12. Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia is proud to be the area's premier dealer for new and used vehicles. When another dealer tells you no one can beat their deal, all you got to do is visit Mr. Nobody Rick Ball. Visit him online at rickballfordsedalia.com. So 2nd and 11, we're inside a minute to play here. Your score 35-14. Osage trails 21 points, but still a little over a quarter to go. Steps up in the pocket, does Riley. Now throws across his body for Ulmer, and he does a nice job getting a hand on it for the second time in recent memory, because that would have been an interception.
Yeah, that looked a lot like the one inside the goal line there that Ulmer was able to knock it away. He's able to do that there as well. That could have been big trouble for Osage.
It's important here to get a first down if you're Osage. You don't want to give the ball right back to Monett. Chances are Restaurant and Lori is a Lake area favorite and have been for over 25 years. They're located off Highway 5 right there in Lori, and all you got to do is come find out why they've won Best Value of the Lake for the last 3 years, and chances are you'll be back. Chances are Restaurant in Lori, Missouri. Austin Riley now. He cuts back across his field, now throws, coming back and trying to make a catch was Samuelson, and unable to do so. Riley did a nice job extending the play, but falls incomplete, and the Indians will be forced to punt.
One of the few times in this game that Samuelson has actually been open and had the chance to make a catch. Unfortunately for Osage, a tight window there, and it would have taken a miraculous effort by the wide receiver coming back for the football.
So 4th and 11 now. Osage probably going to punt. They are down 3 scores here. Maybe they will go for it. They are going to go for it, and the Monett faithful getting a little loud. They are going to go for it. Here's Riley. Steps up in the pocket. Throws. McLaughlin can't bring it in. That falls incomplete, and Monett takes over with excellent field position in Osage territory.
That was Quincy Jackson in there with the deflection.
Quincy
Tight
Jackson.
coverage there. Double team in the wide receiver.
Yeah, I didn't see a whole lot of window there, but trying to take a shot. 4th down, you have to throw the ball. And unfortunately for the Indians, that falls incomplete, and Monett takes over 1st and 10 at the 24.
Down by 21, though. I can't blame Coach Johnson for wanting to go for it. I mean, it was 4th and long, 4th and 11, but I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be going for it there, down by 21.
Yeah, and you haven't been able to really stop this offense, minus the last time you forced a punt. That's only the 2nd punt of the game. So here's the inside give, and a couple yards are going to give them about 3, bring up 2nd down and 7. With locations across Central Missouri and St. Louis, Peak Sport and Spine has your therapy needs covered. Stop in and see Jessica Cheney at the Osage Beach location. From the field to the workplace or even into retirement, Peak Sport and Spine will get you back in the game or back to work. You can visit at sportspine.com. With that, we bring you to the end of our 3rd quarter of play. You're watching exclusive coverage of Osage Indians football on Lake TV. We'll be back after this.
Rice Concrete Incorporated strives to provide the best service in concrete construction at the Lake of the Ozarks. Rice Concrete Construction Company is a full-line decorative concrete company specializing in decorative concrete, coloring and stamping, texturing, patios, sidewalks, basements, steps, foundations, and retaining walls. Have your new project stand out from all of your neighbors. Not to mention it will add to your property value. Rice Concrete Incorporated. We arrive as a business and leave as a friend.
Nobody but nobody
earns your business like Rick Ball Ford.
Low overhead
Means everyday low prices, big trade-ins,
and satisfied customers.
Take a little drive this weekend
and save some big bucks. That's the Rick Ball way to buy. Boonville and Sedalia.
Now Lake TV brings you state quarterfinal playoffs between the Osage Indians and the Monett Cubs. Brought to you by Peak Sport and Spine in Osage Beach and Camdenton. Rice Concrete in Lori. Mike Heitman State Farm Insurance in Osage Beach. Burgers Smokehouse in California. Quick Car in Osage Beach. Chances Are Restaurant in Lori. Mike Riley Construction in Osage Beach. Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Lori. Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia. AB Pest Control in Osage Beach. Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon. Blinds and More in Osage Beach. And Precision Auto in Osage Beach.
Back here on Lake TV where the Indians back up against the wall here. They're giving the ball back to Monett after the 4th down incompletion, turning it over on downs. And Monett is faced with a 2nd and 7 at the Indian 21-yard line. They lead by 21, and they're looking to deliver the nail to the coffin here, already up 3 scores as we start this fourth quarter of play.
It's not over yet, but Osage really needs a defensive stand right here. Monett with the ball in great field position on the Osage 21-yard line. Osage cannot let up this last score.
So 2nd down and 7. Hammond under center. Inside give. Brad Russell ends up taking down Beeson, the ball carrier, and that's good for a first down. Polylift Boat Lifts is the first choice for knowledgeable boat owners. With a stellar reputation and the best warranty in the industry, Polylift sets itself apart as the trusted solution for protecting your watercraft. Visit them online at polylift.com or stop in and see them at their Laurie or Osage Beach locations. Quick Car and Osage Beach, they like to keep it clean. This play brought to you by Quick Car, our friends. So 11:33 remaining here. Your score 35-14. Osage down 3 scores. We'll see if they can't get a stop. There's a big time handoff. Tyler Ash puts his head down and bulldozes his way to about the 5-yard line. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 1.
Ash using a stiff arm right there to create some separation from the defender and fight forward for extra yardage. We've seen Ash, a valuable asset to this Monett team on both sides of the football, offensively and defensively.
Michael Crosby in on the stop for the Indians. So 2nd down and 1 now, 11 minutes left in the ballgame. Burr, it's cold and it will be all winter. Don't deal with drafts around your windows. Get specialized winter blinds that can make your home much more energy efficient. Only at Blinds & More in Osage Beach. Ash again carries the ball to about the 4-yard line. That's going to be good for a first down inside the 5. So 1st and goal for Monett right there. Precision Auto is your hometown automotive repair and tire shop. With over 27 years experience, Precision Auto and Tire, they pride themselves on fast and efficient work at reasonable prices. Stop in and see them off of Industrial Drive in Osage Beach. So they're going to measure. This measurement brought to you by our lead sponsor, Mike Rice with Rice Concrete. He brings over 30 years of concrete experience to the table while setting the standard for all your concrete needs around the lake. From decorative concrete, coloring and stamping, all the way to foundations and retaining walls, Mike Rice with Rice Concrete is your guy. Visit him at riceconcreteinc.com or call it 374-0144. So they actually spot him just a couple inches shy of the first down, and that's going to bring up 3rd and inches inside the Indians' 5-yard line. I'm shocked. My initial response to the spot was first down, but no way, 3rd and inches. And that time he's got it. Leland Scott in on the stop, but not before the first down is had. So that'll bring up 1st down and goal for Monett. Of course, Ash, once again, he's been tough on this drive.
And Monett keeping it on the ground there. No reason to go to the air and get gutsy. They're up 35-14 right now, and they're just trying to grind it in for another score.
And like I said, Steve, they score here. That is nail in the coffin. This play brought to you by your local State Farm Insurance, Mike Heitman. Call him at 348-1737 or stop by and see him off the Kings Plaza off Osage Beach Parkway. And there he is, Hammond, the inside keeper, all the way to the house from 3 yards out. And now this one's virtually out of reach for the Indians. They trail 41-14. An extra point's going to make it a 28-point ball game. And you see the body language of the Indians on the sideline. They've got some time left. They can strike quick, but that's going to be a big hill to overcome.
This game's starting to get a little bit interesting there for a second. Osage making it 35-14, getting the ball back with the chance for more, but unable to capitalize on that 4th and 11. Monett with great field position to start off this drive. They're able to take it home for the score.
Kick is up. The kick is good. Extra point by Fulton. They now lead 42-14 does Monett. You're watching exclusive coverage of Osage Indian football on Lake TV.
When you're at the Lake of the Ozarks, I invite you to visit Burger's Smokehouse. Learn about Burger's Smokehouse history in the Visitor Center. Try a sample of our delicious smoked meat in our deli. Browse the Factory Country store for our handcrafted bacon, authentic St. Louis ribs, and of course our famous country ham. Take Highway 87 north at Eldon and follow the road signs to Burger's Smokehouse. Or you can find our products in grocery stores throughout the lake area. Burger's Smokehouse, a Lake of the Ozarks tradition since 1952.
Your vehicle, it's part of who you are. It's your partner in weekday traffic and your passport to weekend fun. It's your sometimes office and your all-the-time concert hall. For all your vehicle is to you, isn't it time you did something for it too? Introducing the Quick Car Monthly Unlimited Wash Club. For only $20 a month, wash your car as often as you want. Enjoy significant savings and never worry if it's going to rain or not. Join the Wash Club today. Quick Car. Quick, easy, and professional every time.
Hi, I'm Joni Walden. Welcome to Blinds and More. The tax credit is back. Take advantage of a federal tax credit opportunity of up to $500 and also save on your energy bill at the same time.
When you dress your windows with Hunter Douglas window fashions, you don't just change your home, you transform it. With light-enhancing designs and innovations in engineering and style, significantly reducing energy loss through windows, making your home more inviting and beautiful. Hunter Douglas Window Fashions, backed by a lifetime guarantee.
Keep your car rolling down the road.
The right tire for you depends on the roads you drive, the loads you carry, and the vehicle you own. The experts at Precision Auto and Tire will help you make the right tire choice. They stock most major brands like Michelin, Goodyear, Bridgestone, Firestone, Toyo, and more, all at the lowest possible price. Keep your car rolling and your family safe with Precision Auto and Tire, Osage Beach.
Keep your car rolling down the road.
With locations across Central Missouri and St. Louis, Peak Sport and Spine has your therapy needs covered. Stop in and see Jessica Cheney at the Osage Beach location. From the field to the workplace and even into retirement, Peak Sport and Spine will get you back in the game or back to work.
So back here on Lake TV, William Holtz joined by Steve Goldberg. And it's been all Monett for the most part. They led big at half, and they now lead 42-14 after the touchdown by quarterback Hammond.
And that touchdown drive sponsored by Mike Riley Construction. Mike Riley Construction is your guy from new construction, remodeling to all construction needs. Call him at 216-4270 or email him at sriley300@charter.net.
So, Mike hopping on board. We appreciate our sponsors making this broadcast possible tonight here in Osage Beach. And it's a cold night, but football must be played. 10:15 left in the ball game and one of these teams' season. There's a low liner picked up right there across the 30, and then a rough tackle, gang tackled about the 36-yard line. Miles has decent yardage, and Osage has it 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. This first drive brought to you by Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon. They're your source for installation of underground utilities. Owner Doug Apperson's been in the industry since the spring of '94. You can give him a call at 392-8228. That's Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon. That's Ulmer up the middle. He has about 3, maybe 4 yards. We're going to give him about 3 up to about the 41. So now we're inside of 10 minutes to go, and I'm surprised Osage isn't spreading it wide out of the shotgun, Steve.
Yeah, and keeping it on the ground there on 1st down, too. Interesting decision. Time is not on their side right now. They need to be moving the ball quickly.
Yeah, Riley now. Other way, he's going to be taken down. And once again, that's Fitzner with the quarterback sack. They're going to give him a loss of about 2 on the play. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Osage has really struggled to get into any sort of rhythm offensively tonight, and a lot of that is just great pass coverage.
Yeah, good coverage and the point of attack by the defensive line, just really not allowing Austin Riley to have a whole lot of time back there. Here's the give to Ulmer. He's going to cut it upside and try to run over Hammond, and he's got about 6, maybe 7, and that's going to bring up 4th down. This play brought to you by AB Pest Control. They're the Lake area's most trusted pest control company. AB would like to commend the Indians on a spectacular 2014 season and give a special shout out to an incredibly special senior class. Roll, try, roll from AB Pest Control. So 4th and 4. Riley out of the shotgun, and they got Abramovitz to jump off sides. That's a free 1st down, or should be, for the Indians. Nice hard count by Riley, and that's a break the Indians desperately needed at this point in time.
And Monett getting a little bit too jumpy there, trying to jump the snap count. That's going to cost them, like you said, that first down.
So 1st and 10, we've got 8:34 left in the ball game. 42-14 your score, and very impressed have we been with the Monett Cubs and their showing on both sides of the football as well as their special teams unit.
So Riley display tonight by Coach Dupay and his squad.
Oh, he had his guys ready. Riley now under pressure. He's going to be taken down for a quarterback sack. And that's big dog in there, number 74, Jacob Negree. That's his 2nd sack of the night, and we've called his name a handful of times for good defensive plays all night long.
And like you said, that purple haze defense is what they call it down there at Monett, and it is a fantastic one. Gave Reed Springs all sorts of fits last week in a 21-0 shutout victory, and they're containing Osage's high-powered offense tonight.
And they are indeed, and Russell Wilson fumbles, and I believe we might have a recovery, and we do. Monett gets another takeaway, and they're going to get it at the 46-yard line of Osage. And I'll tell you what, things just not going well for Coach Devin Johnson's squad, and that trend continues as Brad Russell unable to hold on to the football. Could have been an incomplete pass. They're going to rule it a fumble, and of course at this level you don't have challenge flags.
No video replay, even though we do have video.
No.
How about that, going
machine.
to Lake TV for our video replays?
Well, we don't have a replay machine, so we would have to go somewhere for video replay. Or we have to have our buddy Andrew Evans, our executive producer, staying warm in the truck while he leaves our lovely camera woman, Emily Ruffy, our field guy, Ricky Smith, and of course, Steve Goldberg and myself out here to freeze. That ball's on the ground. Hall has a hard time picking it up, and that's going to be given right back to Osage. Unique that you see fumbles on back-to-back plays. Osage coughs it up, and then Monett coughs it right back up to Osage. So go figure, partner.
That was a good pitch there, and Hall just fumbled the football. He couldn't come up with it. Like we've said a few times tonight, could be tough for some of these receivers and backs trying to catch passes.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be out there. That ball's got to be hard as a rock. I mean, trying to handle that thing. Imagine trying to catch a hard pass over the middle of the field with no gloves. So now you see that offense we expect to see. 5 wide receivers, 3 to the bottom of your screen, 2 top right. Riley empty backfield. Takes the snap, looking to his left. He's now going to look back right, and that's going to be knocked down. There's a flag on the play. Ash in there once again.
The flag's down there on the far side at the 49.
Could be a legal formation. Wonder if the tight end wasn't covered up on that far side. It's an illegal shift. It will be declined. I like the call by Coach Chad Dupay for Monett. He says, let's just play the down game right here. Quicker we can get them to 4th down, quicker we can run this clock out. Crowd's starting to thin just a little bit. We see a couple of the Osage fans making their way towards their cars. Who can blame them? Out of the shotgun's Riley. It's going to be a quarterback keeper on the design, and he's going to run into the only Monett defender that was up the middle. I believe that's Hall. No, actually, number 34, John Saunders, middle linebacker, the junior. He comes into this game standing 5'11", weighing in at about $180, and hard hit he put on Riley. I bet Riley felt that one tonight and will probably feel it tomorrow as well.
Nice little bruise to wake up to in the morning.
No doubt about it.
You know, it always hurts more the next day.
We can't probably feel a whole lot of anything right now. See if we can't see Osage get something going here. Here's that double reverse. Good blocking right there. Blocking by the Indians front, and Ulmer dancing his way around all the way down to about the 43-yard line, and that's going to bring about 4th and 1, maybe 2. Indians have to get a first down here, partner.
Yeah, no question about it. You have to go for it. 4th and a short 2, they're calling it.
I'd like to see another quarterback draw here up the middle. They're going to actually probably give it to Ulmer. They do, and he is stopped in the backfield for a loss of 1. That play does not work out, and that's just a great defensive push. Michael Branch leading the way. That's a loss of 1 and a turnover on downs, and Monett's defense has been tough all night, including on that 4th and short.
Monett's defensive line, it's been the story of their game today. They've done a great job bottling up those running backs. Not a whole lot of room for Ulmer or for Heiser.
Yeah, and this is just a disheartening way to see these seniors go out for Osage. What a year they've had. First-year head coach Devin Johnson makes his way down from Hallsville. He was there 2 years. He had a mark of 12-8, goes 6-4 in both years, comes in here, takes over a very talented group as Osage said goodbye to Coach Dan Henderson, who's not Branson. And what a first season it was for Coach Devin Johnson and his squad down here, Steve.
Two fantastic teams out on the field in front of us tonight, Monett and Osage. Unfortunately, one of their seasons had to come to an end, and at this point in the game with 6 minutes left, it looks like, unfortunately, fans, it's going to be Osage's.
Yeah, and you can just run down the line of these players. You look at the seniors from Justin Heiser to Colin Samuelson to Matt Fields. You got Jed Robertson, Austin Riley, of course, Leland Scott, Brad Russell, Brandon Blankenship. The list goes on and on. Jake Ulmer, you know, your senior class, Joe Francescos, Dylan Hall, Jonathan Williams. You know, we'll get to the rest of them. Just a huge senior class and one that did some excellent things with their time here in Osage. Ball carrier wrestled down very close to midfield. I mean, also in there you got guys. You got Michael Crosby, who's a tackle machine, Justin Travis, Colin Adelman, Dustin Kennedy, Brandon Westbrook anchoring the line, Scott Brannon, Alex Weatherspoon.
Spoon, they like to call him.
Yeah, he's been a playmaker at his time here in Osage. Dustin Gentry, and I mean, the future is bright for these Osage Indians, but they say goodbye to a huge senior class. And I'll tell you what, I like what you see here from Mike Riley. That's Austin Riley's dad down there leading the charge. That ball is pitched outside. That's Witt now. They're lining up at tailback. You've seen him all night defensively, getting a rare carry on 3rd and about 6, gets a short yard. That'll bring up 4th and 5. So nice job by the Indians defense, led by Leland Scott with the tackle to force a Monett punt.
Osage getting the ball back here, but too little, too late. Under 5 minutes to go in the game and down 42-14.
Fourth and 5 inside of 5 minutes to play. Partner, 2 guys back, Jake Ulmer and Russell Williams. Love to see one break. Punt return for a touchdown. Get it onside and do something magical. Here's Witt with the kick. Ulmer calls for a fair catch. Muffs it, falls on it, and Osage will get it right about the 17-yard line. Russell Williams able to corral it right there about the 17-yard line, but boy, that could have made the night a little bit worse for the Indians.
Once again, cold hands and catching punts, catching passes. It's been all sorts of trouble tonight for both teams.
Indeed. And a cold night and a good effort from both squads, but congratulations to the Monett.
Hey, there we are.
Cubs. Indeed, we say hi to you guys out there. Can't see us, we got our gloves on. It's cold. Emily Ruffy to our right, and then bottled up in the backfield is Riley. They're going to call him down, but coming up with the fumble was Levi Fitzner. Boy, I'll tell you what, Riley fortunate they called him down. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 now.
No gain brings up a 2nd down and 10.
California Pintos having their way at home against Orchard Farm, another one of our coverage teams in the area, so looks like they're going to win that one. In the flat, there's Ulmer. And I think Riley got roughed after the play. They're going to tack 15 yards onto that. That'll be an Indian 1st down. All the way up to about the 40-yard line is where the Indians should end up getting this one.
It's a big break for Osage, too. Some extra contact there on the quarterback after the play. That's an easy call to make for the official.
Yeah, especially in today's day and age with the new heads-up program, form tackling, and with that heads-up program, they've implemented to protect the quarterback. The most fashionable, prized position in football is the quarterback, and You know, over the last 5 years, led by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, they love to protect the quarterback. You're not even allowed to graze the quarterback's helmet at any level. That's contact to the quarterback's head, and that's a personal foul. That's something you didn't see 5 years ago at any level.
No, these rule changes are really changing the way that players play the game and that coaches teach the game to their players, seeing a younger generation of players learning the game much differently.
Looking for Samuelson and Hammond. The quarterback comes back, and Zach Hammond has the interception. That's the third of the night for quarterback Austin Riley, trying to make a play for his team, and Zach Hammond comes back and picks it off at about the 36-yard line. Back to what you were talking about, you know, and a lot of people, football fans across the country, say just let them play. But when you look at the guys that were playing in the 60s and 70s and 80s, they're starting to find out their career after football is not as hunky-dory as one might imagine, because they are having some serious health issues. So I commend the NFL commissioner and football coaches and administrators across the country, honestly, for trying to change the culture of the game. The only problem you run into is there's so many judgment calls with as fast as the game moves at the college and professional and even the high school level, with those hit against the defenseless receiver, leading with the crown of your helmet. Sometimes when you lead with your shoulder, it looks like you lead with your helmet, and when you really don't. Hall, meanwhile, with the sweep outside, gets about 3-4, balls on the ground, and Osage has it. Russell Williams comes up with it at about the 40-yard line. We do have a fumble, hopefully a holding here. We'll see what they call. Osage does come up with it.
And if it's against Monett, you'll see Osage decline the penalty.
Right. Interesting is waiting. You see a good camera shot by Rookie Smith, has the officials right there for you to see. And I think this one's going to be against, yeah, it looks like it's going to be against Monett, and Osage will decline and take over. Personal foul against Monett. Fumble is recovered by Russell Williams, and the Indians take over at the 40-yard line of Monett. So all kinds of confusion here. This game brought to you by our sponsors. Thank all of our sponsors, including Rice Concrete, our lead sponsor for the night. Burger Smokehouse, sponsoring Lake area football throughout the season. Rick Ball, Ford, Lincoln, Sedalia. Some of our sponsors, Peak Sport and Spine. Of course, Chances Are Restaurant in Laurie. Penalties decline. Osage takes over, 1st and 10 from the 37, just like we said all along, partner.
3:20 to go in the game, and at this point, it's all about the pride, making the score look respectable up there on the board, and Osage can do that with another touchdown right here.
Touchdown, maybe even two, and I'll tell you what, also for these seniors, you know, you're obviously not going to win at this point in time. You got 3 minutes, 20 seconds left in potentially your football career. Not all these kids are done playing football, but a lot of these seniors will never step on the gridiron as a player again. You want to go make a play, something you can remember. Heiser now the one-handed stab at it, makes the catch, across the 30 down to the 25. He very nearly broke free of Witt, but down to about the 22-yard line, and that's good for an Osage first down and good for a 17-yard pickup. Nice grab by Heiser.
Yeah, another completion to Heiser, and Heiser not giving up on plays. We saw him fight to extend the ball across the pylon earlier in the half. And this time as well, fighting for the extra yardage.
No doubt. So we're going to see here if they can't punch it in the end zone. Riley says something to one of his receivers now. Looks to his left. He's going to throw it up to give Samuelson a chance. And that is in and out of the hands of Witt, looking for Samuelson. And I like Riley's idea there. Just give your big playmaker an opportunity. Overshoots him just a little bit. But no harm, no foul, 2nd down and 10.
And double coverage again on Samuelson, though. We've seen that a lot tonight. It's made things very difficult for the senior wide receiver.
Yeah, they've done an excellent job really bottling him up. You know, Hammond with the coverage on him, the quarterback for Monett, also an excellent cover guy. Here's Riley now, throws, looking to the end zone, looking for Ulmer. He's got him into the house. Touchdown, that's Ulmer's 2nd touchdown of the night. Through the air, and I'll tell you what, he has 8 touchdown catches this year, 10 touchdown runs. So what a season he's had this year, and after a big campaign, he had 16 touchdown catches a year ago. Just an impressive specimen, and all the focus lately going to Colin Samuelson. It'd be easy to forget about a guy like Jake Ulmer, but He's making sure Osage fans remember him and remember him for a long time. That's his second touchdown of the night and a beautiful pass by Austin Riley.
Ulmer scored the touchdown on the ground last week that won it for Osage in overtime as well. He can do both, on the ground and through the air.
11-yard scamper in overtime. Only took 2 plays once Osage got into overtime at Mountain Grove, but they cut the deficit to 21 points here, 2:48 left. And, of course, you'll see an onside. You don't succeed, then this one's over. If you're Osage, you have a full slew of timeouts, and well, anything can happen at the high school level. They were down 2 scores last week with about 4 minutes to go. Maybe a quick score they could try to repeat, Steve.
2:48, still a bit of time. And this onside kick will be important, though. If Osage can happen to recover and then score quickly, then you're looking at a 14-point game with right around 1:30 to 2 minutes to go. Possible.
And, of course, you got to look at those scenarios just because anything can happen at this point in time, and you're definitely not going to give up on a team, and especially not a team like Osage, who's just been so resilient this season. Their only 2 losses of the year coming to California and Blair Oaks, and of course, those teams met last week in the district championship, and Blair Oaks fell by a score of 32-30, and those are 2 very good teams that Osage hung with both. So Russell Williams now a little interesting option there. I scratch my head a little bit. I mean, an onside kick is really no different than kicking it out of bounds, essentially. But nonetheless, Monett takes over 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line with 2:48 left. Folks, don't go anywhere. After this one, we will have the post-game show back at the studio. That'll be your Rice Concrete post-game wrap-up show with Steve Goldberg and myself, of course. And I think we'll talk a little bit about the Monett Cubs and recap what a season it was for Osage. But tell you what, Hammond came in and had a good game tonight. He had a touchdown on the ground. He had an interception. Of course, Abramovitz had a big game, 2 picks. He had a touchdown run of 67 yards. So lots to talk about during that Rice Concrete post-game wrap-up show. There's the give. No, Hammond keeps it once again, and he's still on his feet. Heiser riding him inside the 40, still on his feet. Brad Russell finally helps with the tackle, and he's all the way down to about the 33. You're going to see a personal foul here as a lineman came in very senselessly.
Yeah, it was Brett Goldhofer at the end of the play, and Goldhofer getting a little bit too physical. There was some contact on both sides, some pushing and shoving, but...
Yeah, and really no reason for that. Your quarterback just ran it all the way down to about the 30-yard line.
That's 15 yards at the end of the play, so now instead of being inside the 30, you're back around the 45.
Yeah, that's a huge... Oh, they're offsetting, so there won't be...
And they called the one on Osage as well. I didn't see that one.
Heiser's going to get whistled for one as well. I mean, out of frustration, you ride the ball carrier for about 15 yards and trying to strip it, and then you get hit late. Normally, it's the guy that retaliates to get called. We see that all the time on Sundays, Steve.
That's something that happens at the end of games. Monett practically has this one locked up, and you hope for a clean last 2 minutes.
And there's Abramovitz again in a shoestring tackle right there made by Robertson. Otherwise, Abramovitz may be into the pay dirt once again.
Yeah, we've seen his breakaway speed tonight, and he was about to break one loose there. Nice ankle tackle.
Yeah, that's Jed Robertson. He's had a good year. He had 3.5 sacks last week. Actually, 3 sacks and a fumble recovery in that game last week. So huge defensive effort from him a week ago in that district championship game. Really can't say enough about the job that Coach Devin Johnson's done in his first year at the helm here in Osage. A district championship game leading his team to the state quarterfinals. And there's Abramovitz once again. Looks like he shot out of a cannon. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 4.
Another flag in at the end of that one, too.
And we've seen lots of flags late in this one. It's getting scrappy. Holding against the offense. And I cannot believe that head coach Devin Johnson has shorts on the sideline. He's kind of a wild
I don't know how
man.
he's doing it.
He's kind of wild, man. I got the chance to talk with him preseason, and, he really felt confident about his team's chances this year. And hard to believe that was well over 3 months ago. Chit-chatting with him, time's just flown by. Kind of does that, Steve.
And Coach Johnson doing a lot here in his first year at the helm. Osage, a team that people at the beginning of the season, you were telling me, might not have projected to go this far in the postseason.
No, I mean, they knew they were talented, but a local mid-Missouri high school preview, actually out of Columbia, the Pigskin preview had them going 6-3, and I had them going 8-1. They ended up going 7-2 in the regular season. But I just thought they were much more talented, and they've shown that, being good all year. Of course, Hammond very nearly broke that one. That's a big gain. We're going to give him 11, maybe 12 yards on the carry, and he's a very, very good runner.
And now Monett can go into victory formation under a minute to go. They got the first down. Hammond tripped up just shy of the end zone there.
First down and 10 for Monett. The Indian 12-yard line.
Well, they take 2 more kneel downs, and that'll be our ball game tonight for Osage.
Indeed, 40 seconds remaining. Your score 42-21. That's going to end up being the final in this Missouri State quarterfinal high school playoff matchup. What a season it was for the Osage Indians. They're going to finish the record of 10-3. But boy, on a pat themselves in the back. It was an outstanding year. Absolute pleasure. LakeTV was able to be with you on it. Of course, we'd like to give another shout out to our crew out fighting the elements, our field camera, Ricky Smith, our ever so talented camera lady, top of the booth, the lovely Emily Ruffy, our executive producer in the truck, Andrew Evans, and then my color commentator, Steve Goldberg. I'm William Holtz. On behalf of LakeTV Sports, final score 42-21. We thank you for watching, and we'll have the Rice Concrete postgame wrap-up show after this.
0% APR means hot savings.
Right here at Rick Ball Ford.
Get spectacular Ford savings on almost every car and SUV with 0% for 72 months. 0%, 6 years.
Hot summer deal.
At family-owned Rick Ball Ford, Boonville and Sedalia.
Rice Concrete Incorporated strives to provide the best service in concrete construction at the Lake of the Ozarks. Rice Concrete Construction Company is a full-line decorative concrete company specializing in decorative concrete, coloring and stamping, texturing, patios, sidewalks, basements, steps, foundations, and retaining walls. Have your new project stand out from all of your neighbors. Not to mention it will add to your property value. Rice Concrete Incorporated. We arrive as a business and leave as a friend.
This post-game wrap-up show is brought to you by Rice Concrete in Laurie, Missouri. Now, here's Will.
Back here on LakeTV, this is your Rice Concrete post-game wrap-up show. William Holtz, joined by Steve Goldberg. And for those of you tuning in, hoping to see the Osage Indians move on to the state semifinals, you'll have to wait at least another year because it was all Monett tonight, winning by a final of 42-21. And the story of the game had to be the rushing attack, Steve.
Yeah, hats off to Monett. They had a balanced attack on both sides of the football, offensively and defensively. But we'll talk about the offense first. Mostly rushing tonight for Monett. They had 43 carries total for 332 yards. That's a big stat right there. 387 total, but by my math, that's only 55 passing yards in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a lot of passing yards. It's all done on the ground, and it's done by a slew of guys. You had Hall in there, you had Abramovitz, and even the quarterback Hammond made his presence felt on the ground. But 330-plus yards on the ground, that's a huge number. I mean, especially the high school level. And Osage just had no answer. I'm talking first, second, third down, positive yardage every time. You didn't see a lot of lost yardage situation. And coming into this game, Brad Russell, nose guard for the Osage Indians a week ago, 18 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks. He was on a few plays, but tackles for loss just weren't there tonight as the point of attack was dominated by Monett.
Now, and Osage had a very tough time controlling that triple offense, that triple option offense. And getting hits on the ball carriers in the backfield, and Osage just never really had a whole lot of opportunities. Some missed tackles as well really hurt the Indians.
Yeah, and another thing, we had an opportunity to talk. We were down on the field just listening to some of the guys, and Austin Riley and Justin Heiser and some of the playmakers, Brad Russell, they attributed to it. It wasn't so much of plays they didn't make, but we just didn't see Cub defenders miss tackles. They would try to make them miss. These Cub defenders were disciplined. They stayed home. They were sound tackling. They put their helmet in the chest of the Indian defenders, and they just made tackles when they had to make them. And that's why they found themselves on top tonight, because they didn't make the small errors.
No, you're absolutely right. There are not a whole lot of second chance opportunities in tonight's game for Osage, and Monett very sound defensively. One of the most impressive performances I've seen defensively out of a high school football team in my years of watching high school football.
Yeah, and they set the tone early in the third quarter, getting 2 quick scores. It was 21-0. Osage comes out of the break really hoping, of course, Monett starts with the ball, hope to hold them out. We're only about 9.5 minutes into the ball game, or the second half, rather. They've already scored twice, and you find your score at 35-0. The wind is taken out of the Osage crowd, 35-0. That's basically an insurmountable hill to climb. Osage finds himself down that big, and at that point in time, basically game over.
And Osage tried to get back into it. They had a little bit of momentum going. They had 2 scores in a row to cut that lead to 35-14, and then a chance to make it 35-21. But Osage had a very difficult time tonight converting on 3rd and 4th downs, and that really cost them offensively.
Yeah, some numbers for Osage. I mean, they were able to hold Colin Samuelson. We talked about him. He was our spotlight player of the game. He only had 2 catches, 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half. He had a couple opportunities that he would have had to make great plays in the second half. But not only do we got to say that Colin Samuelson wasn't a huge factor, that isn't so much about Samuelson or Riley's job. That's just we got to give credit where credit's due, and that's the Monett Cubs making plays on a great player.
Absolutely. Those cornerbacks and those safeties for Monett, very involved tonight. They did a lockdown job defensively covering Samuelson. Not an easy task for any team, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast tonight, but they did a fantastic job of it. Like you mentioned, only 2 catches in the game for Samuelson. That was huge from a player who nearly eclipsed 300 yards in last week's victory.
Yeah, it is a huge season for Samuelson, but he was unable to make his presence felt tonight. And like we said, we're going to credit the Cub defense for that. Riley did have 3 touchdown passes tonight. He also had 2 interceptions. Probably should have had 3 or 4, just balls that weren't hauled in by the Cub defenders. But just an outstanding season that Austin Riley put together as a senior. Also, the seniors, this Osage team, had a huge year. It was a great year. They finished 10-3. They finished second. This quarterfinals, just a win away from those semifinals. And obviously a team that's going to look to build upon this. We wish Monett luck in the semifinals against John Burroughs, but we'll focus on Osage. And it was just a good season for them. And that's going to bring us right into our player of the game, and that has to be Jake Ulmer. He had a good game with those 2 touchdown grabs. Talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, Ulmer was getting very involved in the offense, starting in the second quarter, really, and then continuing throughout the rest of the game. He did a great job of setting the tone and trying to rally Osage back into the game.
He had that late touchdown and just an incredible throw by Austin Riley, and that's why Jake Ulmer is your Rick Ball spotlight player of the game. It was just an overall good game. He finishes the year with 18 total touchdowns. He had 8 receiving, 10 rushing. He finished with over 1,000 yards on the ground. Just a huge senior campaign for the young man. And when you have those kind of numbers, a lot of times it's just a team that has a lot of playmakers, and Osage does. But if you look at his individual numbers, huge year. And although Ulmer gets the Rick Ball player of the game, you can't not talk about the good game that Justin Heiser and guys like Britton McLaughlin had, because McLaughlin had some big plays down the stretch.
Yeah, that is one stellar senior class of football players at Osage High School, and they should be very proud of themselves despite the result of the game tonight, and I'm sure it's not what they would have hoped for coming in. Still a very impressive season, 10-3 in a district championship. That's huge in Devin Johnson's first year as head coach, and he's really building a program here at Osage High School.
And you're going to hear the name Riley for a long, long time at Osage, because they've got brother and then a cousin. Of course, younger brother, Dylan Riley, a sophomore. He looks to take over at helm of the Osage Indians as a junior at quarterback, and he's a lethal weapon for them. We saw him late in some ball games, and he's a guy that can make some plays, and I look for him to be a dangerous threat. It's just unfortunate that Osage couldn't get the W tonight and move on. But with that being said, an excellent season for them. They finished 10-3, and they fall tonight by a final of 42-21 to the Monett Cubs. And on behalf of Lake TV, I'd like to congratulate the Osage Indians on a stellar 2014 campaign. Steve Goldberg, William Holtz from the booth, we thank you for watching. This has been a production of Lake TV Sports.
This state quarterfinal playoff has been brought to you by Peak Sport and Spine in Osage Beach and Camdenton, Rice Concrete in Laurie, Mike Heitman State Farm Insurance in Osage Beach, Burger's Smokehouse in California, Quick Car in Osage Beach, Chances Are Restaurant in Laurie, Mike Riley Construction in Osage Beach, Polylift Boat Lifts in Osage Beach and Laurie, Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia, AB Pest Control in Osage Beach, Apperson Utility Contracting in Eldon, Blinds and More in Osage Beach, and Precision Auto in Osage Beach. This has been a broadcast of Lake TV Sports.
Welcome to Lake of the Ozarks. You're watching Lake TV, your visitor information station, on Charter Cable Channel 197 and Como Connect Channel 90, or from anywhere at mylaketv.com. Stay tuned to Lake TV to get all the latest on activities and attractions, events, entertainment, boating, outdoors, shopping, lake history, and dining at Lake of the Ozarks.